Multiples. So with that said, hello. If you're watching this VOD or YouTube video, welcome to the Dungeon Boys Play Curse of Strahd session. Well, yeah, yeah, exactly. This is session 10, technically. One of the sessions is not on YouTube. The YouTube's playlist, to my great dismay, starts with session 2. Because we didn't start streaming until the next time. But we are live. We're waiting on Derman Rainlicker. There he is. He's back. He is back. Derman, what is your last name? Oh, sorry. What's your first name? Errol. Yes. Sorry. Derman is the last name. And Reginald Greentooth. Bruac. I was so close. I was so close. Alright, so we've got our little window open that can be seen. I'm gonna undo that. Open up my images. Reveal, not that. Ooh, spoiler alert. To the people on the stream. What's being drawn? Oh. But we're live. We're about to start recording this podcast. We're about to start doing our stream. Just as a reminder, if you are someone who's showing up, you've never been to a D&D stream of ours before, it's likely that is the case for you if you're here. I don't tend to read a lot of chat. I like to try to stay focused on what we're doing in the game. So absolutely, we want you here to spectate and to enjoy it live. I will look and read what you say without a doubt, but I may or may not respond. I don't want to, because we're recording a podcast at the same time, and I don't really want to derail all the time with chat interactions. But if there's something I need to hear, or something I need to know, something we need to know, you should definitely let us know. Such as, now you should be able to hear all the Dungeon Boys speaking.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
What's up?
There you go. You should be able to hear them all now. Everybody give me a little test.
Hey.
Hello.
Check. 1,
check,
2.
Check. 1, 2, 1, check.
Checking the mic.
All right. We're gonna play D&D now. Is everybody ready to begin?
I am signing into the whiteboard app.
Okay, yeah, jump in all app. If everybody's done, chew what you got to chew, etc., etc.
I'm chewing as fast as I can.
Well, that's fine. As long as you got a mouth empty whenever you have to introduce yourself.
It's all good.
Chew the food so we can chew the fat.
Chew the food, chew the fat. D&D is where it's
That was
at.
too good.
Your toast?
What?
Your toast is good?
Nah, no, it's fine.
Is there a block
toast is
somewhere
always-
on the all app thing?
A block?
Yeah, like your box.
No, there's no blocks yet.
Okay.
I almost forgot to deactivate channel points. We were about to be eating jelly beans the whole stream.
Is this the right thing?
Hold on.
I can see what you're driving.
Yeah, I see you. I'll make a box real quick.
Okay.
I see a mighty hello.
There's a good box.
Hey, the box right there.
Now I'm going to
All right.
erase the hello. All right, let's go ahead
Right.
and somebody
Before we
finish.
get going,
Somebody finish those. What, Josh? What you got?
I need you, because we're all looking at a different screen, I need you to draw a box that's exactly 1 unit wide. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
So smart, Josh. So smart.
I try. Okay, now I can line up with that. We good.
Okay, everybody good?
Yeah.
Vaguely good.
A banana. We need a banana for scale.
Wait, where's the handle? Crap. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good.
All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and start the recording. If you're watching on stream, know I love you. I'll read anything you say, but maybe not out loud. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Dungeon Boys. My name is Keith, and I will be your DM.
Josh playing as Reginald the fighter.
Bryce playing as Jericho Mold Drinker, the Ranger.
Zena's playing as Errol Durman, the Rogue Cleric.
The Tabaxi Rogue Cleric.
Baxi Rogue
The
Cleric.
Kitty Rogue. Reginald's an Orc. Jericho is the Shifter.
Yeah. Oh, also I'm a Ranger Rogue for now.
Ranger Rogue. So you did take your multi-class.
I did indeed.
Okay. Does anyone want to update us on what we did last week, or would you prefer I did it?
You go for it.
I'm going to leave that one squarely with you because it's been a hot minute, man.
Okay, you guys finished your long rest with Davian Martikov at the Wizards of Wine Winery after successfully clearing his winery of all druids and other blights. He tried to reward you and did reward you and offered you some extra rewards for returning with helping him with another thing. The extra reward was some answers to possible questions you might have about the world and about a few things. So you guys went up to Yester Hill, where one of the magic stones that he uses to produce the wine for the winery, or to grow the grapes for the wine, one of his magic stones that grows those vines and allows them to grow, was stolen and taken to a place called Yester Hill, where the evil druids were. You guys went up there, noticed a large effigy, a large statue made of wood coming out of the ground, and with some graves around it. You said, that looks important. So you approached it. Upon approaching it, the graves opened up, and several berserkers and several druids of a tribal nature that were evil came out, and they began to attack you. It was then that Strahd von Zarovich himself showed up to observe the melee. This seemed to give the druids cause to begin to worship and chant around the statue. You do not know what they were attempting to do, but they were attempting to do something, because if they weren't being struck by you, they were chanting around the statue. But it matters not, because Reginald was able to knock the feet out from under the statue. Durman was able to light it on fire at several points and at least burn it some, and the statue fell over. And inside the statue, Durman found the very stone, the glowing green magic stone that they were looking for.
I have it as Big Green Rock in the inventory.
Big green rock. And one further thing is that Reginald was called to from beyond life and drawn to a spear that was hidden in one of the graves during the battle as well. Strahd von Zarovich fired a fireball at the general area and killed several of the druids that were trying to worship him. But all enemy combatants have been destroyed, and Strahd von Zarovich claimed that he was going to find Irina Kolyana, the lady whom you took to Vallaki for her safety, and he left the area. So you guys are now alone, seemingly, on Yester Hill with a slightly burning statue of Strahd von Zarovich that was 50 feet tall, laying across the top of the hill. And then slightly above you, I guess you're not quite at the peak, at the very peak of the hill in the back, the Gulthias tree stands with a small stand of trees around it, looming.
Good old looming tree. So, all right, what time of day are we in?
It is, at this point, a little after midday, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And I'm trying to get the note straight on my, you said it was the blood spear?
Let me go back to my appendix.
Okay, I'm just making sure that I've got the mechanics down. It's just a regular spear, but drain life from enemies, 2d6 when the enemy is destroyed.
Again, let me consult my index because I do not fully remember.
All good.
Can you hear Mia barking?
Yeah.
I cannot.
No.
Okay. It was the blood spear, correct.
Okay.
Let's see. When you hit with a melee attack using this magic spear and reduce the target to 0 hit points, you gain 2d6 temporary hit points. Yeah, I guess that's
Okay.
it.
Other than that, it's just regular spear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. All right. Just making sure I got down the right. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
right.
so it is now time for you guys to play the game.
Let's do
fellas.
it.
Hey, fellas, we were supposed to be protecting the arena, right? She's back in the town. I mean, didn't the Strahd fella just say he was heading that way to go and get her?
Yes, I suppose.
She's supposed to be completely safe in that town. I don't think Strahd can get to her as easy as he makes it sound.
You really think so?
Well, I agree. That is the reason we took her there.
We
Oh, no.
do need to return anyway to get our payment, but we shouldn't rush back to the point that we are unprepared if he is there. Perhaps we should go back, get our cart, get any payment we might receive for retrieving the glowing rock of winemaking, and continue on our way.
We do not want to check out the Gulthias tree.
Perhaps we should do that while we're here. If there's anything to understand about it, we should probably know.
Hey, didn't that magical switch there you got, didn't that come off of the same Gulthias tree?
Supposedly. Which is mostly why I'm curious about it. Also, if I can burn down that tree, I might be able to stop the twig blights from coming back. That's one more
burn down the tree?
on our side, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you agree? Hey?
And then we could sell the useless stick as if it weren't useless.
Reginald in the back of his mind is just like, okay. So he wants to. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you that it'd make our job a lot easier. But I mean, aren't these, an actual living being? We're just going to wipe them out like that.
But it is living being controlled by the druids who seem to worship Strahd.
You do make a compelling argument there. I'm kind of like looking over my shoulder at the big old tree. Maybe we take a few moments to take a look at it,
No need to stand around here jawing about it. Let's go on and get over there.
Let's do it.
I'm on the way.
Okay. Are you
I
all
need
kind
some
of
Earl for my chair.
squeaky? Kind of squeaky. Let me find the chapter.
Squick squack. Wiggity whack.
All right. At the south end of the hilltop where you're heading, it's a sickly copse. C-O-P-S-E. Is that what we're thinking about?
Yep. That's where you cut down a tree and it grows back a bunch of little trees.
Yes, at the south end of the hilltop is a sickly copse, a grove of dead trees and shrubs with a huge misshapen trunk at its core. Blood oozes like sap from its twisted trunk. Skulking around the tree are several gangly humanoid creatures covered with needles. But as you approach the tree, wielding the Gulthias staff as he does, Derman, correct?
Yep.
Just having the Gulthias there in the vicinity of your party, the blights that you have come to see, the needle blights, there are a couple of vine blights wandering around, and even as you walk past, you couldn't see them as you walked up, but as you did walk up, you could see the ground begin to move, and then a few twig blights stood up as well, and it's almost like they looked like they wanted to attack you, but noticing that the staff was in the hand of Derman, or at least on his back, being carried however it was, the party is able to travel unscathed to the trunk of the Gulthias tree.
Nice.
I want to kind of whisper to these fellas, not trying to draw any extra attention. You think this is a good idea, fellas?
It is an idea. I wouldn't necessarily call it good. I want to roll perception to see what I could possibly see.
Okay.
Derman's the one with the stick, so I think it's a great idea.
At 20, baby.
Nice. The
Dang
tree
it, I wanted
is,
to-
of course, the Gulthias tree. Sorry, everybody rolling?
Huh?
Is everybody
No,
rolling?
I'm good.
Oh, my bad. That's a 4. Plus 4 is 8.
Okay, so Derman sees most of this, is able to discern most of these things. The tree is the Gulthias tree, the roots of which extend deep. You can tell it's just this tree seems full of life, and as well you can tell that the pieces of roots and plants that were coming up to form that statue earlier are part of this tree in some way. You see all the vine blights and the needle blights hanging around. Let's see, what else do you see? What you see directly in front of you is that embedded in a tree is a shiny battle axe, and beneath which lies a humanoid skeleton.
Nice.
It seems that the human skeleton was killed, possibly by the blights, whilst he was trying to chop down the Gulthias tree.
Whilst he wasn't a skeleton also?
He was not a skeleton whilst he was chopping down the tree.
Whilst he was.
Whilst.
I want to investigate him corpse.
Okay, investigate his corpse.
Okay, hang on just 1 second.
While he's investigating, fellas, I'm all for a good adventure, but you know what? Whatever you decide, I'm right there with you. But I've got to say, I've got reservations about all this.
I rolled an
It's
8.
kind of weird just watching them move around like that.
Yeah.
Okay. You rolled, let me tell you, that the dead adventurer's tattered leather armor doesn't seem to be salvageable, but the axe embedded into the tree does seem to give off a bit of a magical aura. It seems to be to almost hum with the way that I have described in the past magical items tend to do.
I grabbeth it
Okay.
with my kitty claws.
Alright, you are able to pull the battle axe out of the trunk of the tree, and you can tell, yes, this definitely is a magical battle axe. Its handle is carved with leaves and vines, and the weapon as you lift it, Derman, you can tell that this weapon really weighs like half as much as a normal battle axe might.
Nope.
That's swanky.
Yes, this is quite a nice surprise, I suppose.
I want to say that in character. That's swanky right there.
It feels pretty good to hold, honestly. Feels light for some reason. Lighter than I imagined, not that I have much experience or expertise with these types of things.
They seem racy. I want to kind of like glance around, like, are the blights doing anything based upon this action?
The axe? The blights are not afraid of the staff. The blights do not seem to be running in fear of the staff. The staff that you have, the Gulthias staff, seems that they stay. If you can tell how a blight is thinking, they seem to be staying away from it out of reverence. When you pull away the battle axe they seem to shy away from out of fear. They seem to be a little bit trepidatious of this particular battle axe.
Nice.
That is interesting.
Oh, you got pure shiny there. You think we still need to off the tree?
No, I don't know. That depends. Do you think the twig blights themselves are evil, or do you think they are being used by evil people?
I believe they was just getting used. I mean, they don't seem too angry to me.
This tree seems pretty evil, and they all originate from the tree.
The
Yeah.
tree does leak blood.
I thought I'd say, reminder, the tree does leak blood.
Okay, that's a compelling argument right there. You know what? I'm with you, fellas. Whatever you decide, I'm with you 100%.
I'm going to strike this tree with this axe, and I want to see what happens.
Okay.
You have my full support. I'm going to take a couple steps
I want
back.
to take like the one big exaggerated step right back.
All right.
I strike at the tree with a mighty 8 to hit.
All right.
Woo!
Your proficiency with a battle axe does not seem to lend itself to being able to break the very tough outer bark of this tree. It doesn't bounce off as if you're hitting steel, but the bark is tough, and it may require a better hit to open it up.
Does the axe do anything when I strike it?
Not
Wanna
on
strike?
this, not on with that roll. No.
I roll again then.
So you swing once more.
15.
A 15. You do break open the tree's outer flesh, and it seems as though your axe buried itself deeper into the side of the tree than the weight you put behind it. It seems as though this axe may have some sort of extra damage it deals to trees or plants, at least to this tree. So whenever you roll damage for this axe, if you're hitting a plant, I'm going to say you've done enough investigating with this axe to understand what it does as a magical weapon. This axe does an extra 1d8 slashing damage to its targets when it hits.
Wow.
Nice.
Or no, if they're plants, excuse me. If the target is a plant or a plant creature.
That's still kind of cool though.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Nice.
If you were currently in a big fight with blights, it would definitely be a cool thing to pick up. But
That's true. That's true. It's a shame then that we have a twig.
Yeah, Reginald is kind of like looking around, kind of eyeballing the blight, seeing what's going on. Do I need to roll a perception there?
No, they're kind of still hanging out. They're not approaching the staff that is wielded by Derman, nor are they approaching that same battle axe, which is also wielding him. You seem to be protected more so by the staff than by the battle axe, but they do kind of cringe when they look at the battle axe hitting that tree.
Let me tell you, man. If Derman were a lesser man, he might get a bit arrogant. He's got this axe that they're afraid of, and he's got this twig that they revere. Oh, that could really go to his head, you know?
It could. You could just walk. I mean, really, based on your evidence, you could just walk up to each one and chop it till it dies, and they can't do anything about it.
God.
I'm not going to do that. So how do you think we should kill this tree? This axe seems to do more damage than I suspect a normal wood would.
Well, you could keep on swinging the axe, or you could burn it down. It's up to
I mean,
you.
there's any number of ways in which one could destroy a tree or a tree-like creature, but honestly, I think that the axe is probably going to be the best way in this case. I mean, they're not they don't seem to be making any advances here.
Okay. Reginald, would you like to take a few swings?
Yeah, I suppose I could demonstrate a few swings here for you. Yeah, I reach for the axe.
I give it to him
Okay.
with a firm chop to the arm. I'm just kidding.
Asha.
I don't
All right. What am I rolling here?
Hey, while they're doing this, can I go search through, like, look and see if there's anything in those other obelisk things around the perimeter? Obelisk, what are they called?
Cairns.
Yeah, the cairns.
Cairns.
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just rolling strength plus proficiency.
Yeah, roll it up.
All right, it's 22.
You'll definitely hit the tree.
Woo! All right. And that is a 19 on the damage.
Did you roll the extra d8?
Oh, there is a D8. No, I
Because
did
it's a
not.
plant.
Got it. Right. Oh, that is that. Well, that's a 1. So
Okay, so
20 damage.
So 20 damage. All right. Are you going to chop till you're done?
I'm just I'm making that one hesitant swing right now.
How
Okay.
big is the tree?
I mean, it's a big, thick tree. Like, it's no redwood, but it's it's imagine, at this point, if you'll look in the Discord, there's a picture from The Witcher of Geralt riding up to a giant oak tree with a bunch of people hanging off of it. Imagine you're a small Geralt and that tree is just a little bit bigger, like it's a big boy tree.
So, having hit the tree and done a good deal of damage, more than I'm used to doing, I kind of get that. Reginald kind of gets that little twinkle to the eye.
Okay.
I want to swing at it again.
Hey, so if you're going to swing at it again, let's say the first thing that happens when you swing at it this time, like you bury that axe way deep, you just take a big old chunk out of it out, blood squirts back at you. The both of you are spritzed with blood as this tree is chopped and, splats out. If you're going to chop it again, I'm going to say you learned how to chop the tree in the first one. I'm just going to say that every time you chop the tree now, you're going to do 20 damage to it. So each time you do, a big old hunk comes out. That's why I'm asking, would you continue chopping till the tree came down?
Yeah, just trying to RP it. Basically, like, he's unfazed by the blood and everything. He's just like, he was hesitant about it. Now he's kind of taking that one swing. It's like, okay. Take another and another, building up some momentum here. So
you chop. 12 times you chop. And the tree is almost about to fall over. On the 13th, you crack through it. You've taken a big hunk out of the side, and the tree falls down into the copse of other dead things around it. You have cut down the Golthias tree, and not unlike, this is my own flair that I'm adding, not unlike Old Faithful, but, divided by 10 times, so not a huge geyser, but out of the trunk of the tree, up into the air, a fountain of red blood shoots and rains back down on your heads. And as it does, and you turn around towards all the twig blights and the vine blights and the needle blights around you, they, along with the tree, topple over and dissolve into the ground, becoming just the plant material that they were so evilly made out of.
Well, good job, Reginald.
I want to, arm around the shoulder, like buddy scene kind of thing, I'm kind of glad you talked me into it now. It seemed like the right thing to do.
Yes, I agree. I'm glad you had fun. And I tell you what, as an extra bonus, you can have that axe.
Oh, do you mean it?
Yes. Consider it a gift.
Well, and you got the blight switch now too. Although I don't really know how effective it'll be.
Probably not too effective, but it never hurts to try.
Cut to.
Well, it's an admirable gift.
Cut to. You got a friend in me.
Walking off into the sunset, geyser of blood in the background.
Yeah, so I pictured that very polite exchange between the two of you happened as it, like, both of you wiped off your faces. Like, the rest of your head is covered in blood, but you just have, like, your faces uncovered at this point, speaking to one another. So yeah, you now stand in a copse of dead trees and shrubs, with a bunch of plant material laying around you, and an axe has been exchanged. Jericho, what have you been up to for the last 13 axe swings?
I walked up to the nearest cairn and investigated it, see if there was anything stored inside, much like the Spear of Destiny.
Okay. No Spear of Destiny. You did have to walk a pretty good ways. You came out of the path back to the north of where you went, and then you just made a turn and headed west. And heading west, you found the first cairn you looked in, and what you found, chief of all things, was what did you find in them? Mostly moldy bones of the ancient tribe of berserkers that once lived here in the mountains. You can tell that these are bones of the large people that tried to murder you earlier. Nice. But not seeing much of value and not seeing really where you would look to find anything of much value, you look up, and looking west. As you look west into the curtain of fog, you can see a white fortress on a hill above a great city. The city appears to be quite distant, maybe a mile away. The fog obscures all detail, but you can hear what sounds like the echo of a church bell.
Can I note this on the map?
I would roll a do your fists on your eyes check before you put it on your map.
Okay. Then investigation, perception,
Yeah.
maybe Arcana. I don't know. That is. Hang on. I got a expertise thing, and I know it shows perception, so I know it's increased.
Also, it should be noted for listeners that between the last battle and now, we did some investigating on Curse of Strahd and how best to play it. We learned that we were playing it the wrong way, in that we only have 3 party members. The average D&D party number is around 5. So we're missing 2 from the average. So I went ahead and gave them 2 levels to try to make up for some lost time. So they're now level 6.
Hey, extra sturdy.
Yeah.
I rolled a 14.
You rolled a 14. So as you look into the fog, the longer you stare at the city, it's like the harder it becomes to focus on it. Until eventually you blink and it's almost like the city blows away, and then you blink again and it's back. So it looks more like a vision. It looks like something that's floating out there in the fog more than it is actually a destination, because you're looking out into this western fog, and it reminds you of the eastern fog that you came out of, that was so dense you could almost not see into it at all, almost as if it encloses this whole town, this whole region that you're in. It looks more like an apparition than it does of actual destination.
Okay. I will make note of it.
Cool.
And let boys know. And how did you describe it? Like a white fortress?
It is a white fortress on a hill above a great city. The city appears quite distant.
Soon we will be knowledgeable of this.
Soon.
Then I'm gonna sprint back to the boys.
Okay, go ahead for it. By the time you get back, what I described happening to them has happened.
Okay.
Hey, Jericho, we chopped down the tree.
Excellent. Well done. So we can be on our way then?
Oh yeah, we got to get back. I forgot all about it.
Your bloodthirsty tree chopping has slowed us down a bit. But before we get back, let's take a little detour to where I was just grave robbing. There's something out in the mist, or possibly out in the mist. It could be just my eyes playing tricks on me, but it looks like a fortress out there. A fortress and a large city or town or something. I don't know if it's a way out of the fog or if it's a trap or what, but it's on the way.
I'm gonna say I don't know if I fully trust this foggy, misty stuff around here. Are you sure?
No, not at all.
No, I think it's at least worth a look. Even if it doesn't turn up anything right now, we can still mark it down for later.
I'm scratching the top of my head with the side of the axe.
I haven't got a map that extends that far, because we're sort of on the edge of our map, but...
Okay.
Let's get through it.
I think it'll all be revealed in time if it is something a bit substantial. Maybe it's time we best be getting back.
All right. So I'm gonna start walking towards that cairn I was at.
Okay.
I follow him.
You all arrive.
Where's this vision?
Reginald, if you don't mind, and Derman, would you please roll perception checkers?
Sure.
I do not mind.
27.
17.
Okay. At this point, you all see this hazy vision of a white fortress on a hill above a great city. It appears to be quite distant.
Now that it's hard to argue with that.
But you also experience the same sensation that Jericho experienced. That the harder you try to focus on it, the almost more unattainable it becomes.
Interesting.
So, Jericho, if you want that, I mean, it's up to you when it comes to your map. If you want to kind of mark like a question mark way out there on your map, you're welcome to do so. If not, you don't have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a little arrow with a question mark pointing off into the distance.
Okay, good idea.
Hey, fellas, you don't think this coincides with any of the fortune tellings that we got, do you?
It's possible. To be honest, I don't fully remember them.
To be honest, I'm only getting a second-hand account of these things.
I've got them written down. The first card she drew was the card of the master. It says this card tells of history. Knowledge of the ancient will help you better Yeah, it's tiny.
Understand your enemy.
Oh, understand your enemy. You will find what you seek in the castle amid the ruins of a place of supplication. I'm not a learned man of great knowledge. I don't know what supplication means, but that does look like sort of a mystical place, and that certainly looks like a castle. But we've also got a castle right down the road where an evil, villainous vampire lives.
Well, either way, fellas, either one of them, they're not here. Those are there. But I think we got more pressing matters at hand right now.
Fair enough. I've got it marked on the map. We'll go and find out what's going on with the princess, our payment, and Strahd.
Keith.
Yep.
I may have missed it, but is there like something I can roll to determine if this is just like if it's like magical in nature, or like a wisdom save if it's like an illusion or something?
I think at this point, based on what's going on there, your perception, your hazy perception roll will do. You rolled a 27, like you've taken these levels, like you can trust your eyes. You rolled a 27, you know that you can trust that your look, whatever you see to evaluate, and try as you might, you can't focus on this. It looks to you like it may not be real. It might be something hazy. It at least looks off. And untrustworthy.
Cool.
And Reginald he's a man of doing things. He's not a man of like great forethought. So I think that is just true to character for him.
Reginald is a man of thought.
Right. Not a man of forethought. More like 2.7 thought.
Oh. Is it possible Lizzie's pregnant? I came up with that joke. Is it possible that was a dad joke? I kid.
I don't know. I don't have the power to forethought this.
Me neither.
It is a much more accurate pregnancy test.
far more accurate.
Dad joke powers. All right, what do you do next?
Saunter off farm.
I want to shamble. Can I shamble?
You may shamble.
All right. I shamble in that direction.
Which direction?
Well, we're going back towards the vineyard, right?
Yeah. I was just wondering.
Jeez.
Is that what everybody wants to do?
Yep.
I think so. I mean, I think we pretty well knocked this one out of the park up here on top of the hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sure did. You sure did, Fireball beneficiaries. Knock this one out of the park. I kid. So
Slated.
Several hours later, you guys are walking back down the center aisle of the vines of the Wizards of Wine's winery, and it is growing quite dark. You arrive as the sun is de-revealing itself for the evening. It is in the PM hours, somewhere between probably 7 and 9, your best guess. And you return to the Wizards of Wine's winery, bearing the glowing green rock that you can only imagine is the one that Davy and Martikov wished that you would go get. And you return with it into the winery. You guys actually walk inside, and if I can remember what the winery looks like, I will try to, and by remember, if I can flip to the correct page that shows me what the winery looks like. If you'll remember,
while you're searching through pages, go ahead.
You what?
I was gonna say, while you're searching through pages, I was just gonna comment to the fellas.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think the travel was a lot easier without all the worry about all the lights. I think we might have made the right decision back there.
I think so too. You did a good job chopping down that tree.
I sure didn't I?
Hey, fellas, y'all didn't happen to make note of where they said the other wine stones were, did you?
One belongs to that old hag with the crows, and the other one is somewhere else, I forget.
Yeah, the champagne doodle stump or whatever it was. That one was taken some time ago, if I remember right.
All right, just so long as you guys remember where we could possibly be, we can keep an eye out on them. Eye out for them whenever we're searching further things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you guys find Davian Martikov and most of his family, except the children, sitting in the kitchen, in the upstairs kitchen. You guys walk in the front door. Instead of going in through the place where the cart was, you guys head up onto the front porch, open the door, and up the spiral staircase to where you know the kitchen is, assuming that that's probably where people gather about this night. And it looks as though Davian Martikov and his family, Adrian, Elvire, Stefania, and Dag, are finishing their meal this evening. Each of them still wearing their kind of leather rain gear, since it does rain frequently. Each of them looking as though they've had, a bit of a long day. As you guys walk into their kitchen. Well, it seems you have returned, all three of you in one piece. Welcome back.
Hello.
Oh, thank you. We didn't really expect to get back.
Whatever could you mean by that?
It was quite a hassle to get this little rock of yours. There was more people than we could ever expect to deal with.
You have returned the stone. I feared you may have returned with only your lives, but it seems as though you, Derman, are carrying the stone for which you left.
Yes, I have a giant green rock, and I'm glad to know it's the right one.
He stands up. The rest of his children, they're all adults. Some of them a little bit older, like middle aged, down to probably late 20s. He stands. Good.
I'm gonna look over at Reginald. Did he say only return with our lives? As if it's not important.
I really think he did. I mean, I can understand his perspective, but it's a little concerning.
Let's see if I'll do anything out of the kindness of my heart again. All right, proceed with your praise and grumbling.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I had feared that it was possible you would have taken your reward for clearing the winery of the druid scum, and gone about your merry way, or at least as merry as you can be in Barovia.
That's none at all.
It seems you are correct, my new friend, but it seems as though you have brought back that which we requested. You have earned our trust. And he turns around to his family, and all of his kids are kind of quietly nodding, as if that you have earned the trust of a tight group of people. As he takes the stone from your possession, Derman.
I give it to him happily.
Wonderful.
Sweet. Hey, not to be a bother, sir, but do you suppose we could have our cart ready here for too long? We really ought to be getting back, you see.
You intend to leave this evening?
Yeah, as quickly as possible. That Strahd fella, he was out there. He said he was going back toward town. So we somebody over there. We want to make sure they's all right. Which
town? First? when did Strahd say this? You have encountered Strahd since this morning?
Yes, he was at the Druid's Grove, or whatever it's called. Yesterhill?
Yeah. There's only two reasons I know of that Strahd goes to Yesterhill. Either he came to bless their ritual, which undoubtedly would have meant you would never have returned, or he came to stare off into the mist, to the west there, as he sometimes does. So I imagine he just came to. How did you escape him? Tell me. I assume he would have you, burned where you stood.
Well, we're quite intimidating when we really apply ourselves.
He left.
Well, yeah, he did that too, but we were still intimidating.
Strahd loves to play with his food.
You said he stares off into the mist to the west. Is there anything out there that he'd be searching for?
It is said that if you look at just the right time, or in just the right way, you can see a vision of his ancestral home. But I can assure you that any attempts to travel to it through the mist only leads to despair, or if you're gone long enough, death. There's nothing out there. There's nothing out there for Strahd or the rest of us.
I see.
Do you think perhaps there's a way to make it through?
The fog?
Have you known anyone crazy enough to try?
I can tell you who I've known. I have known people of Barovia, and I have known people like you who are from the outside, who have never returned to the outside. There is only one way that I know of to escape this mist and the hell that we call home in Barovia, and that is to kill the Devil Strahd.
Well, now, if nobody's ever killed him, then how do you know this for sure?
Because no one has ever left.
You make a strong argument,
That's a
sir.
good point.
I think it's time we told you some truths. You have earned our trust. And as we sit here and talk about the devil that has destroyed our land, I feel as though we are bound, because of your help, to do our best to help you. And because of that, we owe you some truths. You see, we are not just a kindly family who make wine for our living. We are the Order of the Feather? Hold up. There's something of the feather.
I say with a questioning tone.
No, hold on. We are the Keepers of the Feather. We are...
I'm not sure about that this time.
Is
Yes.
it just the one feather?
Some of his children roll their eyes like your dad's old and he can't remember what we're called. No, that's non-canon. He said it right. We are the Keepers of the Feather, and we are called that because we are a family of were-ravens.
Bite me.
What?
No, that is not in character, but
Okay.
I knew it.
We are a family of were-ravens, and I, being the patriarch, are in charge of our mission to do whatever we can to at least slow the suffering caused by the Devil Strahd. We are diametrically opposed to his rule, and it is our goal at least to find a way to stop him one day. And as you can tell, I am an old man, and we have not found a way yet.
Now, just to be certain, you are an older gentleman what grows feathers on occasion, and you are amongst the vines, right?
Well, this is a winery, and yes, I am an old man who can transform into a raven. And then he looks back at all of it. He looks back at his family, Adrian and Elvir and Stefania and Dag. And Dag is actually an in-law. Stefania is his adult daughter, and Dag is her husband. And he looks at them and like gives them a nod, and all of them instantly transform into ravens before your very eyes as they sit on their chairs, and he flutters in front of you. And then again, he looks at you from his raveny eyes and turns back into himself. And he says, "Yes, we have occasion to turn into feathered ones at times."
I want to lean over to Jericho and like nudge in the ribs. I think this is the one you was looking for.
Yeah. Jericho's kind of looking around like he's a shifter, so he understands the ability of changing one's form, but it is still strange to see other people do it. Excuse me, sir, would you describe yourself as possibly having one more fight left in you?
That sounds vaguely specific, but I can assure you if I were put face to face with the Devil Strahd and we knew there was a way to win, I would gladly take one more fight to bring him down.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Fellas,
if we could... Yes, what
I'm
is
like
it?
bouncing up and down. I'm like bouncing up and down. I'm just playing Reginald here.
Shut your trap before you scare him off. But yeah, if we'd all like to go home, we all want to get out of this terrible, dark, dingy place. So if we could count on your assistance in, removing the head of the devil, then that would be much appreciated. And we will do everything we can to find a way to chop his head off.
I will tell you this. You have earned my trust, and you have earned my help in battle, should the chance come. But I cannot go along willy-nilly fighting alongside you for the chance that possibly we could kill the Devil Strahd. Because if we fail and I die, then I do not get to spend any more time with my family here. But if we win, of course, the curse will be broken, and maybe it's possible that all of us could leave this place. So,
of course,
if you can come to me and assure me that there is a chance we can have victory over the blight of Strahd that plagues our land, I will gladly pick up my sword and fight with you on that final battle.
I assure you we will hopefully find a way. And we will come to you first. You can help us figure out a plan.
Absolutely. I think it will be a good idea. Now,
I'm going to hold out my hand for a good old shaking.
All right.
If the man...
He reaches his hand out, and then he almost shakes your hand. And then he pulls it back. And he says, I may... How about, and he pushes his hand back and shakes your hand again. He says, no, you have earned your trust. My next request is only that of a friend to new friends. If Strahd said he was headed back to Vallaki for Irina, whom you dropped off there, I feel you have no need to worry that he will actually go. Vallaki is well fortified, and Strahd has not attacked there for a good long while. If you would still worry and want to rush back to Vallaki, that is, of course, up to you. I will send some of our members of the order to deliver the wine to Erwin, so you need not worry about delivering wine. I do have need of the final stone, though. I do not know if any of you are willing to help us retrieve the final stone from the hag Baba Lysaga, but if you do, I can offer at least one of our rare raven folk to join you on your journey and battle alongside you, as well as, if you will do this for me, I can make sure that any time you are in grave danger, there will always be a raven there to help pick you up.
I
That would be indeed quite helpful.
have a question.
Yes. Absolutely,
Dermot,
anything.
like, this whole time, he's been kind of like staring in a very like odd, not necessarily creepy, but odd way at these people.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
But
You don't get a choice.
how did you come by this? Whatever you would call it, lycanthropic situation.
I suppose our ancestors were beaten or had the lycanthropy passed along to them in some way many hundreds of years ago.
They were picked.
And it has become I suppose, a family tradition, not only to be a were-raven, but to also to use these powers to fight Strahd. And while lycanthropy at times can be a curse, also it can be a blessing when you need to fly or blend in with the surroundings. It has been a valuable tool in keeping us alive, as Strahd desires to have us killed.
Another question.
Absolutely.
Would you be willing to pass along this situation to an outsider?
Are you asking if I would make you a were-raven like we are?
Yes.
It would be a tradition that is not passed along freely. You have done well to earn our trust, but you have not done quite enough to earn entrance into our family. And everyone here in Barovia that is a were-raven is family to us. How about this? If you help me retrieve the stone from Baba Lysaga, and if we all survive, or at least if you survive and I survive, or someone survives to make you a were-raven, I can assure you, if the green stone is returned to the winery, we will pass along the raven lycanthropy to you.
That sounds like a deal.
Reginald is like in the back behind these two fellas. Like it's like the kid in the back of the classroom who's like, he's got the answer. It's like, ooh, 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 ooh. It's yeah. He is all adventure hyped.
Okay. What about you, Jericho? Doesn't seem like there's a lot in this bargain for you if we go get the stone.
I just want to go home personally. If you could scrape together some more money, that'd be great. I can turn into enough animals as it is. Being able to fly would be nice, but I don't quite know all the drawbacks of being a bird person, so we'd have to discuss some more of that before I agreed to anything of that nature.
I will not make you a were-raven unless you desire to be. But if we are able to return the stone that would help us make our middle of the line march or wine, we have the purple grape marsh left. We have the one other that we can make with the other stone. We will be back to full capacity, which we have not been for a while. There will be more coin in it as well. There certainly will be a monetary reward for the completion of this adventurous quest, as he raises his old eyes to Reginald, bouncing up and down.
Yeah, adventure is its own reward. You know, Jericho. I mean, I think we could. I think we could agree to
Reginald,
take on this undertaking. I'm just saying, it's an adventure.
You're making me nauseous bouncing around like that.
But an adventure. Oh, I'm like pacing around in the background, like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take out the map and present it to the dude. Could you point me in the direction of this Baba the Haga?
Her name is Baba Lysaga. And I feel that before we send you on your way, there are a few things you should know. The chief of which is that she is the most powerful hag that inhabits these grave lands. She is filled with evil. And her swamp, if you let it, it will drag you down and never let you leave. But I will point you to where the swamp is, and I will do you one better. I will send with you my son to join you on this journey to ensure that you will return safely, or at least to help make sure that you return safely. And his son, Elvir, that you can tell is the youngest. He's definitely younger than Erwin, and he's definitely younger. Erwin is the one you met at the Blue Water Inn, and he's definitely younger than Adrian, who's sitting at the opposite head of the table that Davian was sitting in, the one facing you. Elvir, he calls you Elvir. You're my youngest son, and you are the apple of my eye. You are our baby. But the time has come for you to help in the fight against the Devil Strahd. It's time for you to actually put your hand to the plow. Will you accompany these adventurers, these new friends of ours, on their journey to defeat Baba Lysaga, or at least get our stone back? What, Jericho?
How old does this person appear to be?
He looks like in his mid-20s, mid to late 20s.
Oh, okay.
Davian is an old man.
Yeah, nope.
I think you're waiting on a response
to your
from your own character.
You what now?
Keith asked his own character a question.
Oh yeah.
Just Reginald was talking.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's all well and good, but I mean, adventuring and all that kind of stuff, it can be kind of dangerous. I mean, has you ever seen any action before?
As Reginald is saying this, Elvir stands up, at attention towards his father. He doesn't seem to notice Reginald say anything in the background, nor does Davian turn and respond to Reginald's thing. The two of them are kind of having a moment, and he says, "Yes, sir. I will accompany our new friends, and I will make sure that they return safely." And Davian, gives his son a bow and, "Thank you, my son. I suppose you all could get a start tomorrow. Elvir may be able to tell you a few extra things about Baba Lysaga that we have learned from our different spies passing that way. And I will mark her location on the map so you can make any sort of extra plans you wish to. But we have finished dinner, and we would like to offer you another stay in our house tonight. Surely you do not wish to get on the road into the darkness of the swamp in the middle of the night."
Well,
Reginald
then
got
that
that
kind of suits
thoughtful
me a bit. But... Reginald, what?
Reginald's kind of got that thoughtful look because he was all gung ho about we gotta go right now. But I suppose we could rest tonight. What do you say, fellas?
Yes, I think that would be good. I'm quite tired after today.
The night usually suits me best, so if we could try and get to our location around nightfall, that'd be best for me. But we don't have to travel during the night.
Very well. Your tactics.
Suppose we could do that. Yeah.
Your tactics are your own. Elvir will assist you, but it's only through the tactics of the three of you together that we are able to have our winery back. So, of course, Elvir will follow your lead. Isn't that right, Elvir? Yes, sir. I will do whatever you say. I'm here to make sure you're safe and we get our stone back, and that you remain unharmed.
I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder.
Okay?
Elvir, let me tell you something. You can try your best to make sure we are unharmed, but we are particularly good at getting harmed, and we cannot speak for this. Shut it, Dermot. We cannot speak for your safety either.
He puts his hand back on your shoulder, and he's a strapping lad for sure. He puts his hand on your shoulder. His dark hair slicked back over his head. He does have a fairly thick but still stubbly mustache and beard. He's a strapping, healthy young man. He puts his hand on your shoulder. You can feel his strength, and he says, "Challenge accepted."
I like this one. All right, I'm gonna go get some rec time. We will set out tomorrow afternoon. Wait, where is it again? Did you mark it down here?
Yeah. So if you'll check your map, the one that you can see, right?
Yeah, I've got one pulled up. that I'm actually writing things down on.
Do you see a dotted line kind of right, a little left of center of the map, going down into otherwise
Point P to U?
unoccupied area? Yeah, point U. You see the U?
Yeah.
Yes.
Point U is
I
where you're
see it.
headed.
Okay.
That looks shiny.
And Davian and Elvir actually says, this works out pretty well because if we leave tomorrow morning, we may arrive in the swamp by nightfall.
Well, that's perfect, isn't it?
Excellent. Works good for me.
Yeah, Reginald has the big, like, ear-to-ear cheesy grin, like the adventure's about to happen.
Yeah. And the thing he says before you all separate and go to bed is, I just hope that Muriel is alright. And then you all part ways. He walks away from you and everybody leaves the kitchen.
Does anybody know who Muriel is?
I got no
She that
clue.
old lady with the dog.
The old lady with the dog. Oh,
I didn't expect a Courage the Cowardly Dog joke on tonight's stream, but well done, Tennis. You slipped that one right in there.
I was thinking of Courage the Cowardly Dog the whole time, and I still didn't catch it.
Good job, good job, good job.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever recall hearing a Muriel.
She's not the crazy lady with the dream pastries, is she?
No, you guys have not met a Muriel yet.
Okay.
Just to
I
let
wasn't
you.
asking the DM, but
Oh, sorry.
Well, you know what? Maybe that'll be a good traveling conversation for in the morning.
Yes, I agree. I'm going to go to sleep. Good night,
just
all.
flops down to the floor.
All right.
Right. Bedtime.
We rest.
Okay.
Tomorrow, adventure!
Adventure. Okay, you guys take a full rest. Enjoy the benefits of your full rest.
Nice. I feel all juicy and healthy and whatnot.
Enjoy those benefits. So, everybody feeling good?
Yeah.
Is everybody's desire for adventure adequately peaked?
Oh yeah, Reginald is
I'm-
up early. He has sharpened his mace, and he has readied his shield, and the whole 9 yards.
Nice.
He has sharpened his mace. He has blunted his axe. He is ready to
Exactly.
go.
It's a fighter technique.
Damage.
Right, exactly.
Who needs slashing damage?
It's all coming together for old Reginald.
Alright, so tomorrow morning you guys awake. You are offered the same breakfast that you were offered the previous morning. I assume you guys politely partake. Elvir has a wagon loaded down. Actually, your wagon that you brought. He has your wagon loaded down, ready to roll into the wilderness the following morning. You say your hellos to everyone. Davian gives you a hearty goodbye and thanks you again for the actions you are taking on behalf of his family and his kindness of ravens. The other family members, see you off. The children are playing in the house, and you guys hop on the wagon with old Elvir ready to ride.
So long, Damien, and
Hang on. I got that.
thank you for the adventure.
You're quite welcome. We hope. Bring my son back in one piece. He's going to bring you back, so you bring him back.
I will do my best to try.
I make no promises myself. I mean, this is how adventurers work. So.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. We know the risks, but I care not to lose a son.
I don't know where Bryce went.
Yeah, I don't know where Bryce went.
I don't know.
Let's take a brief intermission while we wait for old Bryce as you guys get out on the road with Elvir. Elvir is at the reins. He knows the area. So he's gonna start.
Turns up 2 wheels.
Yeah, he's gonna start beating the reins on them horses, and you guys get off and begin to travel.
Yeah.
Bryce, you're back?
Yay. Yes, travel
Okay.
time.
All right, so we can travel.
Montage?
Yeah, travel montage. You guys are chatting, learning a few things. You can speak to Elvir as you desire.
Blues Brothers travel montage.
Yeah.
Bryson and practicing thieves can't back and forth.
Nice. It's 106 miles to Baba Saga. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. We want it to be dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. I love that movie. God, it's 106 miles to Chicago. All right.
I want to go watch some Blues Brothers.
I know, me too. I always want to watch the Blues Brothers.
All right, so are we doing like the montage thing, and then all of a sudden we arrive, or we got like?
All right. Well, something has gone wrong. Well, we're live again, I guess. The problem is that the thing stopped working, which is not good. I fear that because the internet went out.
Hello.
Hey.
Wrap up sometime. Halloweenish.
What is the plan, Keith?
Hey, so my internet went out. I need us to get together. I'm gonna make a new session, I guess. Are you guys all still in the same session?
Yeah, we're still in the same session.
Okay, so I'm gonna go and make a new one, and we can all jump in that, I guess. Well, internal server error.
Yeah. Kind of. We need to.
Wait, hold on. If you're still in there, hold on. You're still in.
Yeah, can you just join back?
Yeah.
Saving the winery.
I'm joining back, but I
Facilitator.
don't know. Did your recording thing ever stop?
No, we're still recording.
I don't know.
I
I don't know what's going to happen with that.
Well,
stop
we
it
each
and
have
make
our
it-
own. No, we each have our own recordings going on right now. We can just save the recording at the end of this thing. We can mix it together if we need to.
Mine takes like 3 weeks to upload, and by the time I wake up in the morning, sometimes it says it fails to upload.
Yeah,
So
so
it'd
what
probably be
happened
better
with
to
mine
just-
is you guys all blacked out. It was still recording me. I hit stop recording, and it only showed my recording when I stopped. Also, I went ahead and put the stream live again. That was probably a bad idea to work through these technical issues.
Hey,
Zenas,
people,
can you hear
fix
Keith?
the thing.
I don't think I can. I don't think Zenas can hear me because I can't hear
Can
him.
you hear him? Okay.
Hmm.
Then we should probably just go ahead and stop this recording that we're in now, and we'll gather all the pieces together and put it together.
Yep.
'Cause
Okay.
you have our recording from up until you left, and then we'll just pick up for the next one.
checking the mic. Can
So yeah,
everybody
so
hear
mine.
everybody?
So what I have, if you look at the bottom, I need to get out of the voice channel here. Oops.
Zenith cannot
Hear
hear
only
you.
us.
Keith,
Alright.
can you hear Zenith?
No, I need maybe Zenas can leave and come back.
Zenas, he has recommended that you leave and come back.
So if you look at the bottom, there's only one problem, and that's that it's that Jericho's thing is at 0%.
It says processing audio.
Okay. Reginald has an hour and 10 minutes, and Dermot has an hour and 10 minutes, so mine is an hour and 7 minutes, which means I'm the only one who lost the 3 minutes because my internet went out, and that makes sense. So
I just downloaded my MP3 if we need to mix it.
Okay, it's just something that seems to be wrong with Jericho's. So, if nothing else, I can pull whatever audio we need from the stream. So it's nice that we have that backup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hit record, I guess. Well, no, because this one already has a recording. It's gonna blank out everything else. So I guess I need to make one more recording, and then you guys join that.
Okay, should I keep this tab open?
Gosh, man, I don't know at this point.
Do you have my wave?
Yeah, I have your wave.
You have mine.
Yeah.
I'm the only one unwaved.
No, I don't have your waves. I have your MP3s.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with that
This
one.
will be interesting.
I don't understand why the internet would go out for 3 minutes or like 3 minutes and then come back on. That's really frustrating.
Everybody watching Netflix?
No, it's not. Lizzie went up for a run. And
But you're still shared with everybody in your area.
Neighborhood. Yeah.
yeah, but I don't think that would have turned my internet off. Like my modem stopped getting internet.
Is
You
the
never know,
storm near
man.
Hmm. Yeah, there was a
Is the
storm a little
storm
while
upon?
ago. That might have been it. I'm trying to figure out what the best option would be because I don't. Yeah, I'm just going to make a new one. Bryce, keep that tab open. Maybe something happens. Maybe it doesn't.
Wait,
But on your screen, what do you see on the purple one on by MP3? What do you see on that?
12% uploaded.
On MP3?
By MP3 or wave? Because
Bryce?
the MP3 is saved locally.
Can you hear Josh?
Yeah, I can hear Josh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sending you a picture of it. I see
Okay.
12% uploaded by MP3.
It could be that from the storm hail. Also, thank you for being here. Sorry I haven't mentioned that earlier, but I really appreciate you watching. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Sometimes it be like that. We're just trying to figure out how to. I'm trying to figure out how to make sure we can keep the recordings we have for use on the podcast. Just the website we use to record is head and shoulders above audio quality wise anything else that we have at our disposal. So
I'm just saying, like, to everybody who's actually tuned in right now, you wanted to experience D&D. Oh yeah, this is part of it right here.
Yeah. So Bryce, on my
We're
screen,
playing-
I see your purple MP3 is 0%.
Okay.
So I don't know what the deal is with that.
I don't know either. I'll leave it open and let it finish.
Cool.
It should be done by the time we are done.
Yep. I'm gonna hang up
But
the.
that wave thing just says processing. It's
Yeah.
not doing
I don't
anything.
use the waves. The waves are nothing to me. I don't use the waves at all when it comes to the end. The waves mean nothing to me.
Okay.
I'm going to go pee.
Okay. I'm gonna hang up the call,
Run.
Zenas. Before you go, I'm gonna hang up the call. There'll be a link in
Yeah.
Discord for you to join the next one.
Yeah, I was here for that.
Okay. Hanging up.
Bye-bye.
But cool. You're working on your paper and hanging out. I think that's awesome. I think that's cool. Cool. I don't ever want to do another paper. Create. Invite. Copy invite link. Post it in our secret Dungeons and Dungeoneering Discord server channel in the Discord. that no one else is allowed to come into. But we definitely appreciate you hanging out with us. I like having something on, like sounds, and this is cool. Well, good. That's what we want to hear, Hale. That's what we want to hear. I'm not convinced we do a great job of making entertaining D&D content, but also, in my opinion, it's hard to, it's hard. I wouldn't want to watch D&D. I wouldn't, like, want to randomly come into a D&D stream on Twitch, I feel like, just because you don't know anything about what's happening. Reginald is here. Jericho is coming in. Yeah, you want to finish your dissertation to be done? I feel that.
Hey, I can hear good old Jericho, but I hear you double. Can you? I'm almost done uploading my other one.
here.
Can you turn off your mic on the first one?
Yeah. Better?
Nice. Oh yeah, way better.
Okay.
I had to go and sprinkle the tinkle.
There we go. This is more entertaining than what I've
Find
tried
the
watching
proverbial
before.
tree.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're entertained by it, Hale, for sure. I'm glad you're entertained. Can I hear everybody? I heard Jericho, I heard Reginald Derman.
Yes.
Okay, I hear everybody. Who's going to pee?
Right.
Nobody. I
think we're
had
good.
to go pee, and I did do the pee.
Okay, gotcha. All right,
The
I'm
pee
going
is
to
gone.
hit record and see what happens.
It's going into the
We are assembled.
Yep, we had technical difficulties again. We had another internet cutout, so if you're listening to the podcast, we had some problems. We had a cut. Hopefully you don't hear it, but maybe you do. Maybe there's a change in quality from what you've heard for the first hour and a half of your show and now. So who knows? We are live
Maybe
on
it's
Twitch.
Maybe we'll actually sound good now.
Yeah, maybe so. Hopefully. That's
Josh,
always
did you
the goal.
try unplugging your whatchamacallit?
My what now? That's kind of
Your-
personal, man.
Unplug. You said you were going to try unplugging your computer to avoid the pops. I've been hearing pops.
Oh, sorry. I'm down to 19%, so I had to plug back in.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, that makes sense. Hopefully some of those will get cut out in post-production. In the meantime, let us begin. Jericho, the last thing I heard you say was, I'd like to talk to Elvir.
What was? Oh yeah, Muriel. I don't remember where it cut off, so I'm gonna start from the whole thing I was doing.
I didn't hear you say anything about... I heard you say, I'd like to talk to Elvir. And that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, Derman and I were working on the thieves' camp thing because I've been trying to learn to be a rogue.
Okay.
So, Derman, hang on. I'll have to look at this later. I'm kind of distracted right now, and all these weird symbols are just giving me a headache at this point. Elvir, you mentioned something about someone named Muriel earlier. Or
Yes.
Yesterday, I suppose.
Yes, Muriel is a friend of our family's, though she lives in Valaki. She does not live with us, but we consider her part of our kindness.
I see. If she's in Valaki, she should be fine.
Well, I'm not convinced she's in Valaki. She has a habit of coming... habit is probably not the right word for it. She, at times, will get together with my father and plan trips out to the swamp. The ruins of the village of Berez is actually where we're going. And she will make a habit of times going out there to spy on Babilisaga, to see if she cannot get any information about her or anything we can use against Strahd. So I worry for her.
Well, we're headed that way anyway. We'll keep an eye out for her, and we'll help her if we can.
Very well. It is my honor to join you on this journey. It is my first... I won't say my first... It's not certainly won't be the first time I've killed or fought, but it is the first I have ever left home without the power of our group, I suppose is a good way to say it.
Well, you'll find the power of this group very compelling.
I
Look at Reginald.
certainly hope so.
I hope Reginald is doing something adequately stupid right now.
I am beaming. I am like Captain Morganing on the front bench of this wagon, and I am absolutely beaming with
horse.
pride and happiness.
1 foot up on the horse's head.
Right? I am there. This is all about adventure, and I am in it. Like up until now, all this was just a bunch of like, okay, but now that the prophecy thing started coming real, he's like, oh my god, this is for real.
Yeah. Elvir goes on to say, and to be honest, I do not know much about where we are going. I know where Babili Saga lives in the ruins of Berez in the swamp. But it has been a while since we've heard much from her. It is only fairly recently that she has decided to attack us and attack us and attack us incessantly, relentlessly, until finally she did steal the gem from the vineyard. But I don't think that's her end goal. I think she wants to eradicate us. There's something.
And she is also a druid, or is she like you?
She's not a. I do not think she is aware anything, but she's more than a druid. She is an evil hag of a witch. She is powerful. Blessed by the Night Mother, I believe. It is. She will be a formidable foe if we do actually confront her.
I see. Well, if you have any advice on it, then feel free to point it out at any time. We will do what we can, and things usually turn out all right for us. Well, for everyone but me.
Very good. I'm sure if we have chance to kill the hag, we will figure it out as we take care of it.
Excellent. All right, Dermot. I'll take another crack at those symbols.
Okay. All right. So we night begins to fall. You guys travel all day. You recognize that you travel really almost all the way back to Vallaki. You have to travel almost all the way back there. You can even almost see the gates of Vallaki in the distance when you make a right turn and go down a pathway and then onto a very rough, seemingly at least at one time flooded road. As you approach the ruins of the village of Berez, where you believe Babili Saga is living. So, night is falling, it's getting dark, and you're approaching the ruins of this area. The trail hugs the river for several miles. If you can see the map that Beard Marshal. Well, no, I'm calling everyone here knows that you're Bryce. And no one else is in the Discord. If you're looking at the map in the Discord, there is a river. You see the dotted line that leads down to the village of Berez. That U on the map. There's a river that goes beside it. The trail hugs the river for several miles. The dirt and grass soon turn to marsh as the trail dissolves into spongy earth pockmarked with stands of tall reeds and pools of stagnant water. A thick shroud of fog covers all. Scattered throughout the marsh are old peasant cottages, their walls covered with black mildew, their roofs mostly caved in. These decrepit dwellings seem to hunker down in the mire, as though they have long since given up on escaping the thick mud. Everywhere you look, black clouds of flies dart about, hungry for blood. The fog is much thinner on the far side of the river, where a light flashes amid a dark ring of standing stones.
Significantly spooky.
Yes. You're going... I'm just letting you know, you're headed into downtown Spooksville right now.
Fellas, you can almost smell the adventure from here.
Yeah, I think that's what the flies are after, too.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. They're adventure flies. Gotta be.
You said a ring of stones?
A ring of stones, yes. War is raiding with a party of 3. Thank you so much for the raid. War, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Join us while we record our D&D podcast. Go ahead. Jericho.
Ring of stones as in campfire ring of stones, or ring of stones as in, like, monolithic stones?
Ring of stones more akin to Stonehenge than they are to fire pit.
That's kind of cool.
Really big fire pit.
Huh?
Could be a really big fire pit. I want to perception check it and see if it looks like anything funkalicious over there.
Okay. You guys are pretty far off from it at this point, but go ahead and roll it up.
Okay, I can wait. It's a
Alright.
14.
Okay.
Mine is exactly the number that Bryce got.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
You mean 20?
Yeah, mine was a 14.
Could have sworn we
I
both
just
got
realized that my microphone was muted. I responded to you earlier, Bryce, and I
Okay.
was like, "Oh, why didn't you? He didn't make any mention of it. That's weird." Keith, you said there's light coming from the stones, the ring of stones.
Yes, if you guys are looking onto, let me go ahead and knock that out so people can see what you're
I
looking
missed
at.
that somehow.
So yeah, you guys are coming on your pathway. Your pathway is kind of traveling next to the river, and you guys are right up here at the edge of the square, if that makes sense, as you're coming down on that black pathway or the brown pathway that I just drew. So you're at the intersection of that brown line and that black line with the river to your left. Across the river, yes, you can see exactly what I said moments ago, but I'll say it again just so we remember. The fog is much thinner on the far side of the river, where a light flashes amid a dark ring of standing stone. So when you look across the river, the fog is a much lighter. You can see farther over there, and your perception check of 14 just reveals that yes, these stones that you're looking at look like they would be 15 to 18 feet high. They seem to be weathered because you do have that dark vision. You can see a little bit better over there. Some of them lean inward, like they seem a little bit dilapidated. And you do see the light of what looks like a lantern over there. Thanks, Warren. I appreciate you doing alert. Enjoy it. Enjoy your supper. You seem to see a lantern up there, and the lantern seems to be floating around about at, chest height of something carrying it.
How does this river look? Does it look crossable, or does it look like death?
The river looks fairly crossable. It's kind of dotted with a few sandbars and things in it. It looks like it's much lower than it once was. It doesn't seem to be, Jericho, as you will say, added to your perception check. The river doesn't seem like it might be any more than 10 feet deep.
But it is thick with fecal matter.
And Elvir, as he notices you look over there, Elvir also looks off to that area, and he stops the wagon and he says, those are I have to assume that those are the stones I've heard about. It may be best if we leave the cart here so as not to alert anyone in the village.
All right. I'm gonna hop off the side of the cart.
I do the same.
Okay. Elvir does the same.
Carefully climbing down from the cart.
Okay.
So, Elvia, tell me, do you think those stones are worth investigating?
They are across the river, away from the dark fog, and I know that this path leads to Berez, and I know that is where we believe at least Babi Lysaga to be, and Muriel's reports seem to confirm it. The fog is lighter over there, and in general, in Barovia, the lighter the fog, the less the evil. So I have to imagine that the stones may be a safer option than heading straight down this path. I cannot be sure. It's up to you, of course. I'm no tactician. I'm here to follow your orders, but if I had to guess, these stones might be a decent place to maybe even get a look at the village.
Well, then I suppose I'm going for a swim.
We're just gonna swim across the river.
Well, I mean, it's more a turn of phrase than anything, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look for a bridge. Or some path, maybe?
I tell you what, fellas, I could do a little bit of the snaky. Let me see if I can look down the ways a little bit. I want to see if I can walk down at least a little bit, see if I can see some kind of bridge or structure.
Okay. Roll a sneak and some
I'm
perception.
gonna roll that sneak. That is, well, it's a 13 to sneak,
Okay.
and it is a 9 to percept.
Okay. So you're able to remain pretty quiet. You don't go too far, but the fog, the deeper you go over there, it just seems to get heavier and heavier, and the haze of the humidity and this steamy hot swamp that you're looking at, all the flies, you can't see any sort of crossing, or at least intentional crossing, anywhere nearby.
All right, I'm gonna return back and report to the fellas. They see nothing down there, but the atmosphere seems ominously thick.
Let's avoid ominously thick atmosphere. I'm down for a swim.
Let's try to be quiet, shall we? We've got some new skills,
What?
don't you? I want to
And-
roll stealth and then slip into the water.
Okay. Roll your stealth.
That's
Oh,
a 19.
At least I do. I don't know if everybody else still has theirs, but I have a bottle of ball bearings and freezy moss.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Do it with freezing moss as well.
I don't know if it's going to become a cube in the water or what.
Like in Zelda. Hey, it's worth trying if you want.
I'm not attempting to make it into a cube. I'm just saying that.
Oh, the magical glass that I gave you protects the contents from destroying. It's video gamey.
Gotcha.
Reginald has
Excellent.
what? He has a spear and a battle axe and a mace. He's fine. He's got it tucked into his pocket.
don't forget, I got a big ass shield.
Yep, we got a few video game mechanics going on. No big deal at all.
Oh yeah, I've got a lit torch in my pack.
Right. No, you don't have a lit torch. You do have to light those torches at least. At least let me have that. So yeah, nothing happened. Is everybody going in the water?
I'm gonna slide in. I got a 19 to slide up in the water.
The water's not rushing or anything. I'm not going to make you to roll to be able to swim across. But if you want to do so quietly, I will make you roll.
Yeah, that was my
Oh,
quietliness.
okay. Gotcha. You're pretty quiet going across. What was yours, Derman?
19.
You're also quite quiet.
I guess I'd do that
Quite
too.
quiet.
What am I adding?
Add that doody doo.
Add your duty.
Do 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 do.
Stealth plus 10, boy. I got a 19.
All right. So swimming across this thing is about, really, 1, 2, 3. It's about 150 yards to get across this river. It's pretty wide.
Wow. Okay.
But you guys are athletic adventurers. You're able to do so quietly. One person who doesn't do so quietly actually is Elvir. He tries to sneak, and
Ooh.
he's not splashing and flopping around, but he's also not silently moving like a fish in the night either.
Turn into a bird and fly over. Oh my god.
No, you're right. Sorry. I'd like to retcon that. I'd like to retcon that because that is what I thought about him doing earlier. But whenever you slipped into the river, I forgot that he was a were-raven. He definitely turns into a raven and flies over the river.
I was saying that. Okay.
No, he did. Yeah, sorry, retcon. He definitely. Elvir is. Yeah, he definitely turns into a raven and flies over the river. That was a failure on the DM's part, not Elvir's part.
He turns into a raven and plunges into the river.
No, so as you guys go in, Elvir turns into a raven and flies across. And as you guys make it to the bank, Jericho, are you trying to do so quietly?
Yeah, I rolled 19. Right?
Okay, sorry, I forgot. Everybody rolled a 19. Interesting. You guys quietly make it across almost with silence. Elvir spends his time gagging the horses to make sure they don't speak.
You didn't see nothing.
Just kidding. He does fly across, and there is a black raven waiting for you as you hit the bank. And whenever you all get there, it turns into none other than Elvir Martikov.
Wow. That seems useful.
It can be.
It's pretty impressive.
It's not particularly difficult once you get used to it, but it definitely has its uses for sure.
Reginald's just kind of nodding, like, yeah, can I see that? Okay.
Are there any drawbacks to it?
Drawbacks. Mostly whenever once you learn to deal with it, not many, honestly. It affords us the ability to turn into a raven. But as far as detrimental drawbacks, there are stories of some of our ancestors going mad with the lycanthropy, but we have spent long enough learning to master the art of becoming a raven and going back and mastering this quote-unquote curse that many call it, that is, we have not had a family member have any negative side effects of becoming a weird raven in many, many, many years.
And no particular like cornfield fetish or anything like that.
I cannot lie to you, Jericho. I do love grain. I love some rice. I love some corn. You know, any sort of.
Like, how do you feel about scarecrows? You know.
Or is that in character or out of character?
I'm just wondering.
Why don't you put it in character real quick?
Hey, I gotta wonder, how do you feel about scarecrows? I mean, is that effective at all on the raven?
Interesting you should mention scarecrows. Babeli Saga has a battalion, I'm trying to think of a word for the right number, but a group of animated scarecrows. So be on the lookout. If you see a scarecrow here, it may look normal, but you should treat it as though it wants to kill you.
So Reginald's just throwing his hands up in the air like in defeat. So we're here to beat up a bunch of straw people. That doesn't sound like too much of an adventure to me.
Well, also,
maybe we can get this done through pretty quickly, boys.
Reginald, lest you forget the extremely powerful and magically proficient hag that is at least over 100, possibly 200 years old due to her magical powers, or the other dastardly and destructive creatures and monsters that lie in wait for us in the swamp. I suppose, if you believe that is non-adventurous, you can behave that way, but I believe we will have plenty of stories to tell when we get back from this.
Is the story going to go something like the dried up old prune through a bunch of straw people at us?
Let's keep on walking while we talk about this.
Yeah.
Let's try and get closer to our goal.
All I will say to you, Reginald, is always keep a hand on your axe. You guys approach a dozen moss-covered menhirs. What is a menhir?
It is a big old pillar.
Okay.
Norse.
Gotcha. Let me Google that on the right thing so our folks at home can see what a menhir is. This is what we're looking at. You know, kind of uncarved, mossy, vertical rocks. You approach several of those. A dozen moss-covered menhirs from a near-perfect circle in the spongy earth. These weathered stones range in height from 15 to 18 feet. A couple of them lean inward as if to share some great secret with their inscrutable neighbors. A wary-looking peasant woman lurks behind the tallest stone, a rusty lantern clutched in one gnarled hand and a dagger clutched in the other. And you hear, as you see this woman, you hear Elvir whisper, "That is Muriel. Let's not frighten her by approaching her from the darkness."
Where did you post a picture of the thing?
Oh, I just put it.
I don't see anything.
No, I just opened the Here, I can. Copy image.
Oh,
I
you
was
just had
letting
it on
the
the street.
I was letting the stream folks see it.
Ah.
There you go. Well, there you go.
Yay.
Woo.
Okay.
Visuals.
Min
All right.
hears.
Big rock.
You're looking at Min hears.
That's a nice rock.
Wonderful. Okay, so that being the case, Elvier just said that to you. What do you do?
I approach from stealth. I'm kidding. I de-stealth.
Okay.
I de-stealth
Yeah.
as well.
Reginald is practically just dragging his mighty axe along behind him. He's just like, this doesn't seem much of an adventure. Come on, man. He was really looking for more, you
Oh.
know.
That's. I'm looking forward to when you see some of the things that may lay in wait here for you. I'm looking ready for that reaction. Elvier says, Muriel. And the peasant woman turns around fearfully, but then to lay eyes on Elvier, someone who is familiar to her, she says, "Oh, hello, Elvier. What are you doing here? We are been sent by father to steal back the gem that Baba Lysaga stole from us, and if we can, murder the hag along with our other tasks." Very well, I suppose. Welcome. This is probably the safest place in the swamp. But just there, across the river, are the ruins of Berez. I know a few things about them, but first, who are your friends here? Who are these you've brought along? As she looks to you, waiting for an answer.
I smile and wave and say, "Hello, my name is Durban."
Hello, Muriel. Muriel Finshaw, at your service.
Nice to meet you.
Go ahead. You good?
My name is Jericho. And this is my friend and adventurer.
I kind of like half-heartedly just wave my mighty battle axe here. It's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you all as well. You must be friends of Davian to have made it all the way out here and for him to allow Elvier to accompany you this far. She kind of whispers over to Elvier, Do they know? And Elvier says, yes, they know about the Were-Raven thing. And Muriel says, wonderful. I don't have to hide that from you. I spent so much of my life concealing that, but I am too a Were-Raven of the kindness of the Martkovs, despite being a Vinshaw myself. But it is wonderful to make your acquaintance, despite it being in this hellish and oppressive of locales.
It seems rather spooky around here, but I really don't see what all the fuss is about. I mean, we came out all this way and everything, but I'm pointing towards these two fine gentlemen with me. Back me up here, fellas. It doesn't seem very adventure-y.
Yeah, I just don't think we've really gotten to that part yet. You're just being impatient, Reginald.
You all right?
I can assure you that across the river there is adventure waiting on you. Whether you return from your adventure will, of course, remains to be seen.
You hear that? Across the river.
Well, didn't we just come from across the river?
Something like that. Might I ask, why are you over here around these massive standing stones?
Well, because they seem to be... Excuse me. They seem to be not affected as much by the oppressive magics in this area. To be honest, I just feel safer on this side of the river, away from Berez and Baba Lysaga and her scarecrows and all the other hateful things that live over there. But I also must continue spying upon her, hopefully finding a moment that we can come in and swoop to regain the stone back for the winery, as well as to get any information we can on Baba Lysaga that will hopefully lead us to information on Strahd and being able to remove him as proprietor over these wretched lands.
Yeah, that would also further our goals of not being here. Do you think you could get us as close as physically possible without dying? I mean, we can probably take it from there.
I am far too old to be crossing the river with you to attack Baba Lysaga. I feel as though my value lies elsewhere, but I can tell you what I know of the village of Berez and the murderous things within.
All right, that'll work.
All right. You've caught my attention.
Well, if you look around you, Berez was actually a thriving village of Barovia, as many of the other places here were at one time, but it was abandoned long ago after the river rose once and it flooded the village. Since then, an ancient and powerful hag, named, as you know, Baba Lysaga, she lives in a hut in the middle of the village now. And when she's not inside her hut, she's flying around on, you'll never believe this, a giant skull. She uses it as a vehicle. She's enchanted it in some way. So if she leaves her hut, she hops into a giant skull and flies around.
Reginald is like wide-eyed at all this.
Elvira at this point is beside Reginald going like, yes, I told you.
We chopped down a bleeding tree earlier yesterday morning. I don't think much can be unbelievable at this point.
Very well, you've been to Yester Hill then. Also, a few more things. Baba Lysaga does have some scarecrows across the river that do her bidding. They are murderous. They are under the hag's control, and they surround the hut, and they serve as a warning system for her. And by my count, there are 7 in the village.
Reginald has gone from wide-eyed to rolling his eyes.
Gotcha.
And would you recommend that we dispatch them quickly, avoid them at all costs? What would be best for getting to her as quickly as possible?
I'm gonna have to look up. Sorry, I have to look up what they actually are, honestly.
Okay.
Like what? I haven't actually checked out their I wonder if that's in the monster manual. I don't know.
The tome of wisdom.
I apologize. I haven't looked up what the scarecrows actually.
What's that, Zenas?
Yep, here we go. I got it. Scarecrow construct. Ooh. All right. She says.
That sounds spicy.
She says the scarecrows, though they do not look like much, they are formidable opponents in battle. I've seen them kill larger things than I expected them to be able to kill. If you can dispatch them quickly before they call to their creator, then it might be best to take them out of the play. But if you cannot, it may be best to avoid them entirely. But you can be assured that if you attack Baba Lysaga, the first things she will call are her scarecrow gods.
I see. Any specific weaknesses?
To a scarecrow?
I meant
From what I've
made of
seen,
straw and what have you, slash or fire would be fantastic.
From what I've seen, they are quite vulnerable to fire. I have seen swords cut not so deep. They are very resistant to piercing or slashing, or even being hit with that mace of yours. At least from non-magical things. I have seen adventurers and others try poison on them to no avail. And it seems as though they do not get tired. They are never afraid, never paralyzed by any magics, and I've never seen them fall unconscious.
I see. Yeah, they do sound quite formidable.
It's
Reginald?
starting to catch my interest. and a never tiring enemy that's not really daunted by a lot of weapons. Well, I think I could probably work with that.
And one more thing about
Yeah.
the scarecrows is I have seen in the past combatants approach the scarecrows only to turn around in fear and run away. Large, double the size of the scarecrow. You would never assume that this thing would be afraid of a scarecrow, but there must be something about its gaze that can turn even the most confident warrior away.
I see. And are they?
No, we gotta get
immune to-
worried about a scarecrow eyeballing us.
And if there's a scarecrow eyeballing you, you should probably be afraid in general. But are they entirely immune to normal weapons?
They're not entirely immune, they just seem quite resilient against them.
I see. All right. Zenith, are you here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you what else you might know. I will tell you this. We do know that the scarecrows of Baba Lysaga periodically are sent to, Yep, we'll see you later, Hale. We'll see you in the morning for Mario. Baba Lysaga at times will send her scarecrows to the winery. That is not very helpful for us, but I've learned that she is doing so periodically more often and more often recently. As well, she has trapped several mountain goats in a pen near the ruins of an old mansion. And I assume that she, the disgusting old hag as she is, feeds on these creatures, or uses them for some absurd, dastardly magical ritual. They are not pets, I can assure you.
Right. Well, we will try and get rid of them as early as possible and proceed to Baba Lysaga with less enemies at our backs.
Sorry for any
It
sort of
shouldn't take more than a few moments.
Sorry, I was just going out of character. I mentioned. Sorry if I have been pretty close to the mic. I was reading the book and being kind of close, doing a little whisper action. Hopefully that hasn't caused any too bad of issues for anybody. But y'all go ahead.
That was it. I just wrapped up by saying it shouldn't take longer than just a few moments, really.
We'll
go ahead.
Take care of it.
Reginald, this joking of yours has gone far enough. I suppose I ask that you gird yourself as we cross the river, because the things over there, from what I hear, are a lot. They're strong. They're nothing to be scoffed at.
Well, I've never seen a pile of old straw, whether it's moving around or not. It's anything to be too concerned about. So I want to heft up my new battle axe over my shoulder. You could consider me girded at this point.
Very well. So,
Dermot, are you
What do you think,
ready?
fellas? Onward. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Zenith?
Let's go.
okay, so if you guys want to cross the river, Elvir says it may be safer to cross the river back where we crossed earlier. If we cross here, we are directly across from the village. If you peer closely through the fog, you can even see some of those abandoned cottages right across the river. There are a few options, I suppose. We could cross here and go into the abandoned cottages and use them to obscure ourselves as we sneak around and explore and try to find the stone, or we can go back to where we came and come in from the north, or whatever it is you all would like to do. Again, I'm only here to help. The decisions are yours.
What say you, fellas? I'm more the hit it a lot until it stops moving instead of the whole. What's it called? Thinking, planning, something.
I'd like to take a more stealthy approach, personally. If I could get some of those scarecrows unaware, then we could probably dispatch them a lot faster. faster. But if you want to provide a marvelous distraction, that would also work. Is it full on nighttime at this point?
Yeah, it's dark.
Is the village well lit?
The village is dimly lit with a few torches around.
Oh, yeah. Is there anything like on the bank of the other side of the river, like immediately, or is it just the abandoned huts?
The bank on the other side of the river, yeah, it's just some abandoned huts, and each of them have let's see here. Through the fog, you can see the empty shell of an old. Nope, that's not correct. You can see a cluster of ruined cottages separated by low stone walls, and you see a short stretch of dirt road that has remained intact, going in front of them or between them.
All right. I am prepared to cross the river here. I think it would be best to just go ahead and get it over with and cross here.
I suppose so. Dermot, what do you suppose?
Well, I think it's perfectly fine to sneak across here. I plan on kind of going stealthy this next moment anyway.
Yeah,
All right.
let's go on and sneak around a bunch of old piles of hay.
Well, you don't have to,
Yeah.
Reginald, but I work best when people aren't right up in my face swinging things at me.
No. We'll go on and do our sneaking. He's just kind of grumbling to himself. I guess he's kind of leaned away. He's sliding up into the water.
Okay. Again, the water.
Go that way.
Go ahead.
I said I'm gonna go that way too.
Okay. Again, the water isn't particularly deep. It doesn't get any more than 10 feet deep, so a lot of your time is spent wading, but some of it you do actually have to swim. And then you guys arrive on the other end of the bank. Elvir turns into a were-raven, and as you all slip into the water, you can hear Muriel say, "Good luck to all of you. I will be here should you return. I will be watching over the things that you get into across the river."
Did she say, should we return? Like, is there an option not to?
No,
It's always a question more than an option.
Right, I'm
Alright.
good.
Let's get doing.
All right, where Elvir were-ravens himself across the river as a were-raven might do, and you guys find yourself right here at the mouth of these little cottages that I have drawn for you.
All right.
The cottages are, dilapidated old cottages sinking into the marsh. And the walls that separate them, there are walls that separate each of the cottages, so they're kind of like, they're all kind of encased in walls, if that makes sense what I'm doing here.
Well, not like walls, but like a walled garden kind of thing? Like,
Yeah,
just some
so
separation going on?
there are cottages with 3-foot high stone fences around them.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, boss.
Good. Okay. Yeah, we're good.
And where is the Babalisaga hut?
This is a big area. You can't see it from here. You're crossing
Oh,
over
okay.
into the ruins of a village, so it's a pretty
But we-
wide little area.
I'm gonna go.
We know where it is.
The hut is in the center of the village. Based on what Muriel has informed you, the village is like the area of the village. I'm going to zoom out right now on our drawing. The area of the village is a good, kind of like this.
Oh, okay. This is just what we can see.
Yeah, the cottages aren't the village. The cottages are in the southeast portion of the village.
Gotcha. Fog of war.
So yeah, the Babalasaga's hut could be in this area. Let's say Muriel told you a little bit of the other stuff. She refers to. Man, I told y'all. I think I'm reading the wrong little location. No, never mind.
Really?
So she said there are also some huts up here. Some other huts with the same kind of wall structure. She also told you about an abandoned mansion down here in this area, kind of in that general look of things. And then she lets you know that there was also an old abandoned churchyard over here on the edge of the village as well. And so yes, Baba Lasaga's hut, you would assume, is right there in the middle.
Okay, I think that makes better sense.
Gentlemen, I would like to investigate the old churchyard if we have time.
Yeah, and I'm honestly wondering, if she's got these scarecrows scraping around or anything else, shouldn't we maybe dispatch those before we try to get up on the old bag herself?
That seems like a good idea to me.
Speaking of
Which one is
which,
the church? Is the one on the far side?
yeah, you guys are with a big red dot. You guys are there.
All right.
You are here.
Speaking of which, Keith,
Yes.
you said speaking of which.
Oh, sorry. I did say speaking of which. Speaking of which, roll a perception check, please.
All right. I'd also like to roll stealth at this point too.
Good idea.
I got 4.
And that's a nat 20 for stealth.
Nice.
Ooh, dang.
I got a 19 for perception. But Keith, you should know, upon taking the observant feat and getting that +1 to wisdom, my passive perception is now 24.
Understood.
I got a 4 for perception and a 19 for stealth.
Perception is wisdom, correct?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
With my modifier, I got a 10 for perception.
Roll off those perceptions for me if you don't mind.
10.
10
19.
and 19.
4.
Okay. Elvir and Reginald are just trying to deal with all the fog and all the flies flying around and other different things. None of them really approach you at this point. Jericho, you're kind of looking for places you can hide and be sneaky. Derman, you are able, in a northwesternly direction, you're able to peer into the fog and see an unmoving humanoid feature that has a very fuzzy head, arms, and legs.
Well, Keith, it's funny you say that
Mm-hmm.
because I got a nat 1 on my stealth roll.
Okay. Cool. Well, here, how about this? It's like 150 feet away. Like, you're really peering into the darkness.
Okay.
I think this is not the time you roll the stealth roll. The only thing you can see...
One is like you just point at it and start shrieking loudly.
The only danger around you with your perception roll currently is this scarecrow that is that far away from you to the northeast. At this point, these cubes... at this point, we're going to just kind of generally say, and again, kind of up to my discretion later on, but a cube of this size is, shall we say, about 200 feet wide.
Woo, golly.
So kind of close to the top of this little village area is a scarecrow. You dig?
Yep.
Yeah.
So before you roll your stealth and move, I feel like Derman now knows this. Everybody's getting their bearings, getting out of the water. They're wringing out their clothes. Derman is able to spot what looks like a scarecrow in the distance.
I point it out and say, well, gentlemen, I think at least now we know what they look like.
All right. So, shall we circle around to that church you wanted to check out and see if we can get to that scarecrow while we're over there and then proceed on to the hag's hut?
I would like to do that, yes.
All right.
That sounds like a horrible name for a restaurant.
What is it?
Hag's Hut.
Hut.
Oof.
Bryce/Jericho, you're saying get to that scarecrow while you're over there?
You said it's straight across, right?
No, like if your guys are here, the red cube I drew is 200 feet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
draw a purple scarecrow.
All right.
You see that tiny scarecrow dot?
I thought you said it was like way over there.
No, it's like 150 feet away from you.
Oh, okay. My
150
bad.
150 feet away from
Well,
you.
then, yeah, let's go dispatch him real quick.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't know what I said.
Second thought, Damon. I didn't see that one. I saw something else over there. Perhaps we should dispatch the scarecrow nearby before we proceed to the churchyard.
I saw something else maybe half a mile away.
Fair enough.
My elf eyes in this darkness, they're acting up.
You're not.
Gotta get a new prescription.
Molly, you're not. Did you take in too much of that water?
I'm already walking away in shame towards the scarecrow. Yeah.
Okay,
Now, I would like to roll stealth, if you would allow it.
all right, you guys are approaching the scarecrow from 150 feet away, and Elvir says, "Yes, I believe we should be able to dispatch it if we are able to catch him by surprise." So yeah, roll your stealths if you want to stealth.
Can I keep my nat 20 roll from when we got in here?
Yeah, I think that's fair. You rolled a nat 20. We can keep that. You're a stealthy boy.
I had a 19 earlier. Well, it was a 15 plus 4.
I'm gonna be a kind DM. If you had a high roll earlier, keep it. If you had a low roll, trade it out.
I got a 16.
Okay?
Thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.
All right, so Reginald is just kind of he's kind of whatever about this whole situation, but you know, now that stuff is actually happening, he's kind of getting into the spirit of it.
Nice.
Reginald,
Go ahead.
go for it.
Elvir says to you, Jericho, he says, you seem to be rather adept at hiding in plain sight. I, on the other hand, am not always so fleet of foot. Would you mind if I became a raven and landed on your shoulder, and joined you on your journey into darkness?
You cut out for me. He's talking to me or Derman?
He's talking to you.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
And
Elvir turns into a raven and lands on your shoulder.
can you still understand me in that form?
He
Just
nods.
nod your head, yes. Okay. Great. Well, after we dispatch this one, if you wouldn't mind doing a bit of recon for us and seeing if you can point out the rest of the scarecrows in the village, that'd be very helpful.
He nods.
Ooh, I like it. That's some good thinking.
Good thinking. Inspiration point.
And
That's
actually,
what I'm talking about.
2 of those at this point.
Oh well, you can only have one, so
Okay, cool.
you gotta be sure to use those, just in case you do something good later.
Reginald, while we're on the subject of good ideas, actually, nope, I got to do something first. Is it? What in the world was that? Is there a torch or anything nearby the scarecrow? Like, is it in a lit
No,
area?
it is in almost complete darkness. Like it's
Alright.
very dark.
Okay, never mind, Reginald.
Hey,
I'm just
what
going to
was it?
examine. If we come across any scarecrows near torches, I can't really be in the light and do what I normally do, like you saw I did in the cellar of the vineyard. But
Why didn't
they
you say
are-
you do nothing in the cellar?
exactly. But they are not immune to fire by any means. They're made of straw. So if you can manage your stealth and grab onto one, I would be more than happy to plant a hot burning torch right into its face.
Okay, I think I could get behind that. Yeah.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
And
Reginald's
gonna
kind of
take this
brightening up.
I'm gonna take this moment to, before we enter combat, I want to check to make sure my hand crossbow is loaded.
Okay. You
All
are
right, so
able to do that.
I'm going to try to grab the scarecrow
No, not this one. There's no torch nearby.
Oh, okay.
All right, team. Are we ready to dispatch a scarecrow?
Yes, let's
Yep.
do this.
All right,
Reginald
everybody.
has shield out. He has cocked his axe and he is ready to fire.
Everybody, roll initiative.
All right.
19.
Where did my phone go? I'm sitting on it.
9. Lots of 9s and 19s on this one.
Mm-hmm. All right, Derman was a what?
19.
Jericho was a what?
12.
Reginald was a what?
9.
Okay. Roll again. Roll a d20 for me, Reginald.
Just a straight up D20.
Yep.
Aye, sir. Let's see. Oh, that one's a D20. It is a 17.
All right. Cool beans. Thank you for that. Just had to decide between you and an NPC who is going to go before who. That means shibbidim blub shim dum blum dim shim blim blum shim blah. We are
I'm hoping
ready.
it doesn't mean that.
We are ready to begin. Everybody is going to be able to surprise this thing. You guys all creep up, I imagine, within attacking range of this creature. I guess how do you tactically approach this thing?
From a distance.
From a distance,
I'm
German?
invisible to it. As far as I
Um,
know.
Yeah, you are.
I'm kind of staying close to the walls. I'm kind of a big guy, so I'm just trying to blend into anything I can.
Okay, but how close do you get to the scarecrow? You're going to want to try to hit
I
him
want
with
to
this
get
turn.
as close as humanly possible.
You get within melee range. Derman, you said you were far away?
Yeah, at least like 60 feet.
Okay, you stay 60 feet away. Your were-raven buddy also in the attacking phase, as you guys go to attack the creature, hops off your shoulder and turns into his physical actual self with his short sword drawn, ready to attack as well.
I just want to comment on the visual that Jericho is invisible with a raven riding around on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Just floating raven.
You're rolling around with a pocket dude, a pocket swordsman. Just he hops out to stab things. All right, so everybody's going to get a turn against this thing before it ever gets to act. So that means Derman, you're up first.
I'm going to cast Toll the Dead upon him.
Toll the Dead.
You point at one creature you can see within range, and the sound of a dolorous bell fills the air around it for a moment. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or take 1d8 necrotic damage. If it's missing any hit points, that's a 1d12. The spell's damage increases by 1 die when you reach 5th level, so it's actually going to take 2d8 damage. Failed.
Man, this thing is about to get messed up.
Okay, so I roll what again?
Wisdom save.
Oh my gosh. He rolls a 19.
Well, he saves.
Good God.
Well, yeah, that was just a flat 19. So is that a no damage thing?
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, but that is the way the cookie crumbles. Next up, or are you doing anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. That means it is Elvir's turn. Elvir is going to. Luckily, you guys have Elvir on your team. He has multi-attack. Elvir is going to swing his short sword at this fellow. He is going to miss with the first one. It's been a while. He's a little bit rusty. But he's going to hit on that second one, baby. And he is going to hit him with the short sword, which means that's a 1d6 plus 2. Luckily, he got a 6, so he's going to knock 8 damage right off the bat of the scarecrow. Actually, hold up. Remind me of resistances. That means that they take half, right?
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
he stabs into the scarecrow, only doing half the damage that he would have done otherwise. He stabs in him and straw comes out, but the scarecrow now turns around to his eyes to meet Elvir's. It is now Jericho's turn.
Sweet. So on my first turn as the Gloomstalker Ranger, I deal an extra D8 of damage. I have an additional attack. I have 10 feet of greater movement. And since I was a 5th level Ranger, I got extra attack. And also, I have the sneak attack bonus of a rogue. And I can use a light weapon as a bonus action.
Oh, wow.
Wow. We're gonna be here for a minute, boys.
Hey,
Okay,
it
so-
pays to double down on sneakiness, I guess.
All right. So first thing, yeah. All right. I'm just going to approach it and swing my sword.
Swing on it.
Swing.
Oh yeah, and I also have I'm invisible, so I have advantage.
Righto.
Nice.
Okay, so that's a 23.
23
No,
will
25.
definitely hit.
Okay, cool. So that's. Can y'all hear the four-wheeler in the background?
A little bit, but not
Yes.
bad.
Okay, good. I have no idea why they're riding right now.
I don't know. They're also riding right past the bus. 'Cause I'm recording on the bus tonight, but they're driving right past it.
Okay, I don't hear it on yours.
That's okay, though.
So that's 5 plus 8, 13 plus 4 is 17 damage for the first strike.
Okay. With your sword, though?
Yeah.
Alright. So, first strike, he's gonna take 8 damage.
Then the additional attack. Oh wait. That's 22 to hit,
That'll hit.
and that's 10 damage.
Okay. You slash him again with surprise.
Oh, and I'll go ahead and add my d6 sneak attack damage.
Okay.
Where is my d6? Can somebody roll a d6 for me?
On it.
Just 1d6?
Yeah.
You got a 6.
Cool. An additional 6 damage. And then I'm going to back up and fire my preloaded crossbow bolt.
Okay. Cool. Wait, how much was the d6? I'm sorry.
A 6.
It rolled a 6.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
That is an unnatural 20.
Okay.
And can you roll that d6 again for me?
Yo. 4.
Plus 4. So that's 8.
Okay.
And that's it.
So he's looking worse than when you started. You've cut a lot of things off of him, but he's still standing there just angry at you at this point. Next up would be Reginald.
Hey. Guess what I do?
I know what
I'm
you do,
gonna
baby.
Swing at it with my axe,
Swing at it.
which I have named the Weed Whacker.
Wonderful.
Let's
Oh,
see.
and can I take a free action to return my crossbow to my belt?
Do what now?
Can I take a free action to return my crossbow to my belt?
Yes, that sounds good to me.
Schwankers. I got a 13 to hit.
A 13 to hit. That will do it.
13. Nice. It is a 6 on the damage, a whole 6. But since it is a planty creature, technically, does that count?
It is technically not a plant. It is made of. It's a construct, so it's not
Okay.
technically a plant. It does have plant material in it, but it's not a a living plant creature.
Okay. So I'm going to attack at it again, and it's a 17 to hit on this one.
That will hit.
And 13 damage.
All right, nice. 13 damage, which will put us at. Ew. He is not looking very good, guys. He is not looking very good. But even after all that, the Scarecrow does barely remain standing.
Dang. All right, I want to see if I can like kind of maneuver behind where he's standing.
Okay, so you go behind him.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You go behind him. We'll say that Jericho and Elvir are in front of him, and Derman has perfect good line of sight, 60 feet away in the darkness. And it'll be the Scarecrow's turn now, guys. Wait,
Right.
he's not able to act on his first round of combat. That's how surprise works, right?
Yep.
Right.
Oh, never mind. You guys all get another turn because he rolled the lowest initiative.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll probably not survive. Which is super
Just
cool.
plan.
All right,
Fighting the haystack.
Derman.
Sorry, there's a plane going by.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fantasy plane.
Make that, crap, was it wisdom save? Again. So,
I will do it.
trying it again. Hold it.
He rolled a 9.
He does not save.
Awesome.
He's taking
What a
damage,
dummy.
right? Yeah, so he's gonna take a 12 instead of an 8.
All right.
That's a 2. That's a 4.
What type
Alright.
of damage is this damage?
He takes 6 damage.
What kind?
Necrotic.
All right, yeah. He takes 6 damage, and the bells ring in his ears. And when he turned around, he started with Elvir and looked angry. Then he moved to Jericho and looked again angry, but concerned. And then Reginald, even more concerned. And then finally, he looks off into the night. As you can tell, he's lost focus on all of you. And then the necrotic energy emanates from inside of his constructed head and burns with purple oozing burningness out from under all of his raggy clothes. And there's a pile of purple embers left where his body used to be, and the Scarecrow is dead. All completely silently.
Nicely cinematized.
Well, not completely silently, but like the sound of an axe hitting a pile of pine straw. He did.
Well, not ever having hit a pile of pine straw with an axe, I'm gonna go with that description.
Yeah, what a horrible thing to happen to you. Just you're just standing there in the night trying to help out your creator, and then it's not even like it wasn't a great stealth kill because there's 4 of you. It's just like a random mugging in the darkness. I love it though. Good job.
Hey, Keith, do you still have the other Zencaster tab open?
I do not know.
Okay.
I don't think.
Because
Why?
mine got up to 66% and I tabbed away and I would look back at it and it's now at 16%.
Cool.
What?
So I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't either. He'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
All right, let's continue.
Yep.
We got it.
Fellas, I gotta say that was a bit more exciting than I thought it was gonna be.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
Hey, you
Damn it.
suppose there's any more in it? She said there was like six or 7 of them around here, right?
You said there was 7, and I
yeah.
told you they would be quite the challenge.
Oh,
They-
it's quite a challenge.
Certainly are. Do you think you could get us some recon and figure out where the rest of them are?
It would be my pleasure. And as he finishes the word pleasure, he jumps into the air and turns into a raven and begins to fly. And he will return momentarily.
He'll figure out where we're going. Demon, to the church now?
Yes, I would like that.
Awesome.
All right. Go ahead.
I'm going to stealth that way.
I'll do the same.
All right, you got a long. I mean, this is a long walk, so you'll have to stealth for sure.
Okay. Do I need to re-stealth?
No, I think one stealth roll will be fine. But if you decide to stop to do anything on the way, you'll have to re-stealth. How about
Cool.
that?
All right.
I want a little side conversation. Hey, damn it! What was that? What was that melty thing you did to him there at the end?
No, it was just simple magic, I know. Nothing too spectacular, really.
I like that. It was well played. Well played.
Oh, I
You
think
think you could do some more of that?
Oh, I plan to try at least. It didn't seem to work too well the first time. I think it's mostly dependent on the will of the one being attacked, really.
It was just lining up for that perfect shot there at the end to finish him off. That's all it was. I seen it with my own eyes.
Well, that's very kind of you, thank you.
Reginald is like he's getting more excited now. Like there's something actually happening.
Yes. Onward to adventure then?
Adventure? Oh yeah. It starts creeping that direction. In the general adventured word direction.
I head off toward where the church would be.
Keith.
Yep, I'm listening. Hold on.
Okay.
You guys roll
Making
your
sure we didn't
stealth
lose
rolls for me.
I got a 12.
What was the steals?
Yeah, if you're going to try to stealth over to the church with them.
15. 3/4 sneaky.
Okay.
This might be a bit meta, but is there anything with magical sight that would find me? Because if I'm invisible, the dark vision. If I'm invisible, I roll with advantage for stealth.
No, you're good.
Okay, and then I got a 28. Otherwise, I got a 16.
And did everybody, so, sorry, what was the lowest number I heard?
12.
Okay, yeah, you're all good. While you're going there, roll a perception check so I can tell you what you see on the way.
10.
12.
15.
Okay. As you're passing through, you guys so you guys come out of the, that trail that you were on. You go in between all these cottages and things and then down toward that weird little peninsula thing that I made on the bottom. Heading towards that, you see one scarecrow that you do have to walk around. It's directly in your path, kind of between here and that figure that I created. And you do have to walk around him, so you definitely see one scarecrow on your way. As you pass by that figure, you see toward the south end of the village lie the remains of a mansion that seems to be built on higher ground. It has been reduced to piles of stone and rotting timber. Empty arched windows stare at you. And south of the ruin, it looks like there might be an untamed garden that seems to be running rampant, surrounded by broken walls that are no longer able to contain it. East of the ruin, someone has erected a crude wooden fence forming a circular yard in which several goats are pinned. Surmounting the fence posts are human skulls. As you pass by that area, a big circular goat pen, a mansion, and a garden behind it. And then you pass by that and you arrive at the churchyard, which you see through the fog. You see the empty shell of an old stone church, north of which is a cemetery of leaning gravestones enclosed by a disintegrating iron fence. Half of the cemetery has sunk into the mire. And on the way to that church, a little while after you pass that first scarecrow, you do indeed pass another scarecrow on your way there. So you know there are at least two scarecrows between the little cottages and the church. But you do not on your right.
Real estate be considered charming and with lots of potential?
Yes, it would be.
Okay. It sounds like one of those kind of places.
Alas, as you pass by north of you / to your right, you do not see Baba Lysaga's hut or anything. Nothing you recognize as the hut. But not because it's not there necessarily, it's just the fog is thick. You didn't really travel very close to it.
Can we see each other? Like, since we know we're all going this way, do we know where each
Yeah,
other
I
are?
assume that you got. I'm picturing you guys kind of helping each other stealth across this area. Like at times you might like intentionally break a twig, make something turn the other way, the other two go past, and then kind of some cool stuff like that. You have some cinematic little moments as you stealth
Lots
your
of
way this way.
elaborate hand gestures.
Yes, lots of that too.
All right. Well, I am the only way I would be able to interact with anybody is if I made noise.
Mhm.
So at this point, I'm just going to watch, see what Dermon does.
Okay.
I
You're
go-
at the church.
I go in through a window.
Okay. It's mostly rotted all down. Like there's not even really a roof, so you kind of hop over through the gap of a window that used to exist. And what you see is just this rotting mess of a church. It looks like there used to be a church here. The most striking thing that you see in the church is underneath where the bell tower used to be. You do see an old iron bell that seems to be half immersed in the marsh, and it's lying amid the remains of a collapsed steeple.
I'm hanging out outside where Dermon entered the old church.
Okay.
This is not at all what I expected. It's quite sad, really. I want to investigate the bell.
Okay.
18.
All right. You roll an 18. It just seems to be an old rusty iron bell that's sunk half into the marsh. Nothing particularly special about it. But whenever you do wipe your hand across the edge of it, you can reveal or move some of the mud aside, and you do see kind of embossed on the lower outer edge of the bell the word Berez, B-E-R-E-Z.
Smack it.
I put my hand against it and like rest my forehead on it and say a silent prayer, and then turn to leave.
Okay. Are you leaving toward the cemetery or just back where you came?
It's back where I came.
All right.
I like that character moment, Zenus.
Yeah. That was a good one. I know you also have inspiration too, though.
No, do I?
I thought I
you
gave
used
you
it.
one last week.
I think you and I got one at the same time, didn't we?
Let's see, hang on. I have it written down.
I think so.
No, I've already used it.
Oh. Take another one. That was a good moment. Good job.
I remain uninspired, but I got a poking stick and a good choppy thing.
That's true. I'm trying to spread the love.
You've had first dibs on every magical weapon we found so far.
I didn't even mean to.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes the DM speaks to you through a dead god. Sometimes the DM feels like a dead god.
Oh, sad.
Indeed.
Don't smell like one. Okay.
That's right. Don't smell like one. All
All
right.
right, Dermon has
Yeah, he hops out of the
exited
window.
the church.
You see him do
Like,
it.
did you find what you was looking for in there, Dermon?
No, not quite. But to be honest, I wasn't really sure what I was looking for to begin with. Maybe it would have reminded me of home. There's no life in this place. There's nothing here that could remind me of them.
Reginald's kind of as deep in thought as Reginald can get about that.
Okay. As you guys have this little conversation, you assume, or what's his name? Oh, what's his name?
Elvir?
Elvir.
Elvir.
His brother's name is Erwin. His name's Elvir. Elvir lands nearby to you all. I assume Jericho's kind of standing around the same area, and he lands, and he says, "Wait, where is Jericho?"
Oh, yes, he
I'm going. Is he in human form?
Huh?
He's back to being
Yeah,
human,
he
right?
transforms into human and when he lands.
Okay, and he's near them?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go up next to him and Reginald and put a hand on each of their shoulders. I'm here.
Okay. Very well. Very impressive. You are invisible. Something I could use, I'm sure. I did a flyover, and I did find the locations of the other 6 scarecrows. I've also found the location of Babali Saga's hut. I do not see the hag herself. I assume she is within. There's definitely something strange going on with the hut, but I did not fly close enough to really investigate. But I also saw something a little interesting out to the west, a little farther out of town. It seemed like a statue or a monument of some sort. But I am unsure. But here, and he like kind of takes out a little scrap piece of parchment, and he provides you with the following map.
Cool beans.
I swear I hate it when I take a picture of something in my phone, but it doesn't turn landscape because I'm taking it on a piece of paper. I hate it.
They should have
All will be revealed.
they should have a document setting in the actual camera app.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the lens doesn't change; it's just your orientation. So you should just be able to rotate it any way you want.
I agree. Alright, so that picture, I hope you're able to zoom in on it. There are X's that are the scarecrows. This word scarecrow in the top middle of the map, there are 2 arrows coming off of it. The arrow to the right that's pointing directly down, that is the scarecrow you killed.
Handily. Killed it handily.
Correct.
Not that handily.
The monument he's referring to is area U5. You are currently in area U4, but not under U4. You are down there by the church that's on the south side of it.
Cool, cool.
And U3 is the hut.
U3 in the middle is the hut.
U2 is the petting zoo?
U2 is the band that is playing a concert in the north part of the map.
Ah, no tickets. Dang, missed out on that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is
U2 is what, Josh? I'm sorry.
I said, dang, no tickets. Okay.
No, but before that, did you ask me a real question?
I was wondering, is that the petting zoo of the damned?
Yes,
Skulls
it is.
everywhere
U2
and happy frolicking goats?
U2 is the petting zoo of the damned. U6 is the stone circle.
Ooh, okay. All right, it's all coming together now.
Yep. My map isn't very good, but whatever.
Nice. Now, there's 2 U1s on here.
They just mean they're the same thing. Those are those cottages.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Elvira. This makes things a lot more clear.
I'm glad to be able to help.
Berners, do you think we ought to dispatch these the scarecrows before we go on to the old hag?
Yes, I think we should do that.
probably so. Elvia, you said something strange was going on with the hut. I know you said you didn't get close enough to figure out what it was, but when you say strange, what do you mean?
Her hut is built on what seems to be the stump and roots of an old tree. But if I am not mistaken, I can swear that I saw the roots of the stump it's built on twitching, moving, as I flew over.
It's disturbing.
Honestly, this hut, it looked more like a spider from above than anything.
We'll keep an eye on that. Let's get rid of these scarecrows at first.
Come and see the twitching twig out the hag hut. I want to do the big clap on the shoulder for Elvira. It's a fine thing you done, Elvira. We couldn't have done that by ourselves, that's for sure.
Thank you again. It is my pleasure to help you.
Keep it down, Reginald. We're not trying to notify the whole... I don't know how much of a village this really is. We're not trying to notify the scarecrows. How about that?
All right, all right. Can we get to the shopping now?
Sure. Sylvia, you marked a scarecrow sort of on the southeast side. That one seems pretty distant from the rest of them. Want to aim for that one? Anybody?
You are talking about the one between the mansion and the cottages?
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. We will have to pass by another scarecrow to get there.
Oh, we're going along in front of the mansion?
Yeah, so you're currently, if you see that square underneath U4, you're inside a big, U4 is inside a big square. There's a little square of the ruined church underneath the big square. You're right beside that, to the right.
Okay. Based on yeah, that makes sense. Based on the scale of your map before, I was picturing we were going around the mansion and then coming up to the
Yeah, no,
church.
my map's jacked up.
All right, so
Gotcha.
okay.
You can, of course, do that. You can go around the back if you want.
No, we'll just retcon what I said and say I said that about the first one we would encounter.
Okay, how about this? The scarecrows, you've obviously displayed an ability to take them out. If you, even, the way things worked out with that one, it's pretty likely that you'll be able to kill these if you're all stealthy and get a surprise attack on them. I'm going to create a new mechanic where you all roll stealth. If you all succeed, you kill the scarecrow. If you do not all succeed, you'll end up doing battle with it. Cool?
That'll work.
I like that.
Okay. That'll work.
And it'll be a good way to end our stream if something bad happens.
Let's do it.
Alright, so Elvire says, do you mind if I stick to your 6, as it were, Jericho?
That'll be fine.
He,
Just keep quiet.
he reaches a hand out to find your invisible shoulder, then transforms into a raven and hops on. So that takes...
Just a floating bird.
Yep. That takes one element away from your 1 out of 4 rolls away. So you guys go ahead and roll stealth as you approach the closest scarecrow to you.
I'ma do it. It was a 9.
24.
God, I whistled a happy tune. I couldn't help it.
You're too excited.
God.
All right. And Jericho, yours?
Reginald.
Oh, I got a 21.
All right. So you guys approach.
I
Derman,
actually have advantage and rolled the same thing both times.
Derman 60 feet away.
What?
The same thing you did last time, 60 feet away?
Yeah.
All right, Derman sets up his position. Jericho gets in his position, and Reginald approaches the scarecrow, trying to get in his position, but sadly, he steps on a greasy twig. His foot slips, and he slides his foot, and it pokes into the side of the scarecrow, and the scarecrow notices that you all are there. Its eyes light up with a red flame. Its eyes are red as if they were flame, as it stares you all down and whips out its arms to the side. Its claws extend, and it is ready to do battle with you. And we will roll initiative for next time on Dungeon Boys. War never changes, coming back in there with chatting the quote, a greasy twig.
Right? So I tripped on a greasy twig and my foot slipped and hit the scarecrow in the side?
On the feet, on the leg or whatever. Like it slid into the side of his leg.
15 for initiative.
We're gonna do combat next time, fellas. We're just gonna roll that for next time. Why was the twig grease? Well, they're in a nasty swamp, boy. That's why I mentioned that. But yes, the
sorry,
greasy
these
twig.
things happen when I get nervous. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's gonna be our new tavern name whenever we succeed and we open the tavern. Welcome to the Greasy Twig. Welcome to the Greasy Twig. What's your poison, brother? Anyway, thank you for being at the Greasy Twig. If you're listening to this podcast, We've had a good time making it for you. Hope you had a good time listening. If you would like to leave us a review, that's great. If you'd like to join our Discord channel to talk, our server, and join the Dungeon Boys Discord channel to talk Dungeon Boys or whatever, find links. I post some things in there sometimes. Send us an email at tankmediagames@gmail.com. If you want to communicate with us, or you can follow us on Twitter at tankmediagames. So that's the end of the podcast rant. Boys, you got anything else?
Not really.
Thank you for joining us, and we're sorry about that.
That's how we live. Always sorry about that.
But it was fun.
But it was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We had some fun RP this episode.
Yeah.
We'll be back next time with some more Dungeon Boys. Please remember that we love you very much.
Toodles.
Bye.
I gave you all the chance. Okay, so
I
Twitch
said toodles.
viewers, you are still here. I just had to end the podcast recording. Again, Jericho not uploading very good. I was under the impression that there was no uploading that went on with the MP3, but
I don't know.
Mine is uploading, but it's already at 13% since you clicked off. So
yeah. Well, I
Mine
mean,
says 82%.
we'll see you guys
Oh,
later,
yeah.
though. Mark and War, thank you for being here. War and Mark, I just said your names in the opposite order, but I was talking to the same two people. I hope your stream was good today. Hope you guys did some good Minecrafting. Hale, thank you so much for being here. Super cool to have you Subble-Roonies hanging out with us for D&D. Hope you had a good time. This is our Monday night fun as Broheims getting together, enjoying one another, enjoying D&D, etc., etc. But we'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow morning with some more Mario, and then tomorrow afternoon I will be doing a little surprise stream. And I'll give you folks another hint. It will be JRPG oriented, and we might be throwing some monsters in our pocket. Who knows? Just maybe.
yeah, you want to be careful with that.
No, not Final Fantasy VII. I won't give any more hints, but it is. We got some Japanese video game action going on, and not Monster Hunter, not Monster Hunter either. I feel like my hint was probably good enough for you to know. You might just be pulling my little leg, but it'll be a good time. Thank you guys for being here, though. I'm going to send you off to a thank you for watching us play card. And we will see you later. I'll see you tomorrow morning for Mario. You guys, I really appreciate you hanging out with us. I think the boys also appreciate you, even though they can't see you on the chat. And we will see you all later on. I love you all very, very much.
Bye.
Later.